sit here and chat. I've actually done that for like 30 minutes before, Jeremy, where I thought I was live and we were just sitting there talking. It's like four of us.
That's
Welcome. Okay, we'll do the official welcome. Welcome to Cigar Talk Live. Jeremy Rose and I are here to start off. We'll have more
Yeah.
people join us.
Just got-
So, welcome.
Thanks, man. No, I'm just on my drive home. Whenever I can catch this, I like to, man. You usually have a couple good people in here.
Yeah. Everyone just kind of strolls in the next probably 30 minutes or so, and we just talk about. It seems like the beginning of it is like hit or miss, where people will show up right then or be waiting, and then other times I'm talking for like 10 minutes by myself, and then people stroll in. So it's just how it goes.
I actually thought it was 7 Eastern, so I thought I was coming into it an hour late.
Oh no, yeah, you're right on time. 7 Central. I think we should have some more people. We typically do.
So how about this avatar? Tell me about the avatar.
What avatar? Oh, my Brent.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Brent 2.0. Tell me about him.
Yeah. That is just Hey Gen. That's a standard software anybody can use. They've made it simple for anyone to use. You go in and submit a good video with good audio. Matters. Like when I say good audio, just like decent audio. Mine wasn't even amazing and it still worked, the audio wise. And I just mean like some kind of mic that it's not echoey. That's all I mean. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you just record and talk about nothing. It just needs to see you talk. And and don't use your hands too much. Essentially, it gives you instructions on what to do. Hey, don't use your hands too much. Just kind of do like light gestures. Don't wave your head around too much or anything. Just keep everything good. And then pause as you're talking. So in other words, you're training the system to know what it looks like with your mouth is shut for a second and versus open. And then it just fills in the blanks with the words. And it does sometimes it just hits it for like 20 seconds straight where it looks like I'm talking more or less. Like if you weren't paying attention, you'd be like, you would have just thought I was talking. And then other times it just bombs. It sucks. So it just depends on how it goes. Like one of the sentences in there, it looked like I wasn't even moving my mouth. It literally looked like a Bruce Lee movie, where it's like,
Dude, I think I'm going to get that software and I'm going to trick it on purpose so it always looks like I'm being dubbed.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. I got more people commenting and liking that video invite than anything else.
Well,
Isn't that funny? Like it was more engaging. It was more engaging that I had a avatar version of myself than not.
Well,
anyways, yeah. So Hey Jen is the tool.
Looks like a normal video, but then you're like, wait, something's off. It like catches your attention, and then you say it like, oh, I'm
yeah. Yeah, at the front. Well, and I had to. I was like, it's too obvious that this is not me. So, but yeah, Jeff Green, what's up, man? I see you on here. I'm just looking at the chat here, Jeremy. Josh King, you said found it, but that might not mean you're joining us. I don't see anyone waiting to join. Guys, if you want to join us live, Jeremy and I are on here not because we planned him and I to be on a podcast of sorts. This is like, if this is your first time seeing this or you don't remember, StreamYard I use as a streaming tool. There's a link I put in the comments. I'll have to go back and put the link. Josh is saying no link. I might have missed the link. Which one you're looking at, Josh? Probably the event. The correct one, and I put the link on the wrong one is the likeliness of it. They removed my post. See why?
Too political.
Is miss follows? It looks like you tried to get likes, follows, and shares or video views in a misleading way. That's funny. The post that I posted a video just saying, "Hey guys, come join us. It's been a little while." It was an invite, like a video invite. That was not an avatar me. Like an hour ago, I posted this, and they took it down.
I wonder why. I wonder if it was misleading because you're like, I like to have a cigar, but you don't have to smoke a cigar. They're like, he's tricking them. Tricking them.
Where a link is taking someone to repeated redirects, taking people to a landing page, then impersonates, taking people to a website is significantly different to what was shown. Huh. Yeah, that's not spammy. You guys screwed up on that one. All right, so let me get that link, guys. Hold on a second. I will get the link. Boom. Copy. I will find it. I'm going to put it, guys, on the, if you're watching the live on Facebook, I'm putting it in the comments. Oh, see, you can hear it. Well, sorry about the echo if there was one. Link to join live. Boom. Okay, I got the link in there. Josh, if you're wanting, jump in. Jeff, if you want to jump in, go for it. All right, so reminder of the rules of the game on Cigar Talk. You don't have to, if you do join us, you don't have to say anything much. Just introduce yourself if it's your first time. So jump on here. We like to have new people, whether you're in home services like solar, which is majority of people that jump in here just because that's from my background over the past several years. And then, but there's also several other people that join in. I was trying to get my brother Bennett to join in on this one to see. And I haven't yet. Anthony's here. Brian's here. What's up, Brian? Mr. Brian Scott. Rance is here. Rance sells age data and other things, I think, now. Other lead stuff, maybe. Josh is waiting in the waiting room. Oh, Josh. What's up, Josh?
Oh, yo. What's going on?
Good to see you. Oh, Tasha, I know you CRMX, but also I know you from our event, or not our event, a event. You, let's see, Tasha's in education, guys, meaning she has like Tasha, I'm going to butcher it because I'm not always pitching your stuff word for word, but it's really cool. So basically it's an alternative way to for your kids to go to school with, it's like a version of homeschool slash athletics slash whatever it's called, high performance or academy, I want to say. Dang it, Tasha, I'm butchering it suddenly.
Some of that. I think I've seen some.
Anyway, Satema is part of the company. Satema Nolly, he is part of it. You know who Satema is? Big old dude. That's big old Polynesian dude. And Tasha is the like leader. She's laughing. It's okay. We do micro schooling. There we go. That's the word. Micro schooling for homeschool kids. So it's like they're not doing the whole homeschool program, or else it would be homeschool. But you can homeschool kids because we homeschool our kids. So like it gets a little boring. You can't just be at home all times and not socialize with anybody. So the microschooling part helps you get educated and in a different way and around others. So there's the social environment, but it is not a normal school environment, you know. So it's pretty cool. Jeff,
what's up, all?
What's up?
Green.
Christy just tried to join.
Josh?
What's going on, Jeff?
I don't even know if my wife actually tried to join on purpose, guys. We're about to find out.
I did. I'm here, babe. I'm here. I'm going to spy
on you.
What
a supportive bride.
Rule number one, you can't not have your camera if you're going to be joining on camera.
Okay, well,
Jeff just turned his off. Jeff, what's up?
I did.
A little bit.
I have to. I'm driving over to my girlfriend, so I'm kind of audio now.
Tasha, jump on here and say hi. Now. Tasha, there's a link in the same place that you're making comments. There's a link if you scroll up or wherever you need to scroll to, and jump on here for 5 minutes and say hi to everybody. Might as well. Cool. People roll in. Everybody who wants to give us some updates. What's going on? Jeremy, what's going on in your world the last couple of weeks, man?
Dude, just I started full in on my own company again only like 3-4 weeks ago. I think I told you guys last time we were on here. So
Yeah.
Just dude, that initial push to get business going, and now we're rolling. We just finished our first in-house commercial install. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
excited about
Congratulations, brother.
that. Yeah.
Congrats. Yeah, that's cool.
We've been using other people for those for a while, but if they fit the bill, we'll do them, and it's good, man. Just evolving or getting back to where we were, I guess. But I'm pretty proud of my business partner and a couple people, because what we were able to do in 3 weeks has been, I mean, we've done it so many times. We start a whole business in 3 weeks and it's profitable. So
yeah. It helps when you've done it before, successfully or failure. Both of them help. I don't know if you failed at one of these.
Man.
I'm not.
Half of the last 3 weeks have been failures. We just had that one thing go good.
Well, good, man. Good to hear.
That didn't go good, we'd be on here for a long time.
Hey, that's business, brother. That's how it rolls.
Yeah, man. No, so we're back. We're doing it in opening markets, doing the whole thing again. It's what we know. It's what we do. We've added a few other products, but I've noticed, and you guys might have noticed this too, that the solar space, man, is starting to, well, in California, it's starting to thin out, which is kind of good in certain ways and kind of bad in other ways. But I'm just trying really hard to stick with it. I love the industry. I love what it's about. I got into it for the right reasons, and it's like, with it thinning out, I can feel the right reasons coming back. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it kind of got pillaged as an industry for a little bit out here. And, the good parts of it are still there.
Yeah, I think it's, in most cases, at least if it matches the scenario of solar and the current economy, it's always a good thing to have to thin the marketplace, just because of all the reasons that seem obvious to any adult over 30. So because you've seen it enough where you're like, oh yeah. Well, yeah, I've been there. I've been the 24-year-old that thought, go, gung ho, just make it happen. And then later you're like, oh, we should have slowed it down. We should have understood a little more. We should have done it this way. And now we actually didn't serve the customer as good as I thought we were serving them. And now the customer doesn't trust the marketplace. Now we have to wait for it to warm back up to the damn thing. And so
there's a reason the farmer calls the herd.
All that. Yeah. I've seen it cycle, man, because I'm 11 years in now. So I've seen it cycle. But I was just talking to my buddy about this, and I was like, I love the space. I love what it's about. I love what it does. But also, we were kind of part of creating a monster that kind of got away from us all a little bit. Still, new markets still has that a lot. But here it's starting to settle a little bit. And for some of us, that's really good. For others, they see that as a negative, but I like it. It's going good. Like, we all need to understand that it's such a big thing, and it's going to go for so long. And I mean, man, so many of these markets haven't even started yet. Right. So it's still good, man. I still love it. Can't talk me out.
We'll get into it. Two things. First, Tasha, get ready to say hi real quick. Be super nervous, by the way. It has to be perfect when you introduce yourself, like word for word scripted. Just playing. But get ready. And then, but real quick, while she's prepping her mind, the Nick Borelli and I are about to launch a. I don't want this to sound promo-y. I'm saying I get what you're saying, Jeremy. And we were talking about the market shifting and how things are moving. But Nick came up with the idea it's not a new idea, but it's definitely needed, which is essentially how can we use more of direct pay benefits to dealers and installers. So dealers don't. I still believe the dealer model is not going anywhere. I don't think it should.
No, there's too much. It's too attractive.
There's too many reasons why a customer wants a dealer over in-house everything as well, by the way. So like that's why we don't go for. I know it's not exactly parallel, and so some people could be boohoo this, but I mean, I don't go directly to BMW to buy a BMW. I go to a dealer, or I go to I don't even have a Beamer. I have a Toyota 4Runner. I go to Toyota dealer, right? And so like it's just, there's too many reasons why the marketplace is better fitted for that when it's this, especially a financed product as well. So anyways, we were doing this, and direct pay was something that was attractive to me because we sold our company in 2021 as a dealership. I haven't touched solar since, guys. I haven't even talked to somebody about a deal like, hey, Tasha, come buy some solar. I've never even talked about solar since then. And the reason I'm saying that is I've just been in our CRM and doing CRMX, right? The reason I'm saying that is I've just been in our CRM. Got an echo. Doing CRMX, right? The reason I'm saying that is who just joined? Who just joined us? Who's leading? I can't see your face all the way.
It's John.
It's blurry. John. Oh, what's up, John? Now it's coming clear. I remember the pictures on your back wall from last time. What's up, man? Okay. Anyways, how do I make this short? There's a marketplace for dealers to say, cool. I want to push harder, but I'm sick of not getting paid. So we're just creating a spot for that through direct pay. Now that's only good through GoodLeap, but somehow Nick got approved through GoodLeap and all the financing crap you have to go through to get approved underwriting for that. To do direct pay. Yep. So we're going to test out doing a kind of a quasi master dealership program where we're not trying to sell ourselves. We just want to form the process and the system for people to use it to use direct pay and see how that goes. So there's things like that are happening in the marketplace that are changing directly, and I think it's pretty cool.
I just got a deal for a commercial like that.
Keep that thought, Jeremy, because I told Tasha to hurry and prepare.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Here we go. Say hi. Introduce yourself, and don't feel like you have to stay around the whole time, because I know we're just a bunch of dudes talking about solar half of the time.
This is cool. You told me to pop on, so I'm gonna pop on. Hey, Christy.
Yeah.
No, so it's funny because I jumped in when like you guys were talking about scaling, how like you learned a lesson where it's like, hey, maybe we launched too soon. Let's scale back, get this right, put it back out there.
Yeah.
Like, we recently have been experiencing that, but yeah. So just kind of what Brent was saying. So Tim and I, so my business partner and I, we do homeschooling for microschooling for the homeschool community. We're just really totally against the grain with education, and we are building leaders. So we want critical thinkers, and that's basically what we do across the board. We have students in 13 plus states. We have centers going up all over, and thanks to Brent Attaway and CRMX, it's just we've been able to automate so many things, just manage all of our leads, looking super professional. It has just made us totally made us look so much better and feel so much better. And then also shout out to his beautiful wife too, because we have some of the best people on our team as well. So I just love your family. You guys are amazing. But yeah, so that's a little bit about me.
Thanks, Tosh. Yeah. If you guys have, Tasha is not, we blatantly pitch our stuff here, not to each other necessarily, but we'll blatantly say, this is what I do. This is where you can go to find out more, just because without being too, I ripped on something I've gone to before. What's the networking? The BNI groups. So like without sounding too much like BNI, nothing wrong with BNI, but that's not the point of this. Feel free to say, yeah, you can go to our website, you can do this, but I'll say it for you. But yeah, if you guys have or have even thought about homeschooling stuff, they also can like steer you in the right direction. There's just so many ways you can. But microschooling is one of the best ways I think to get your kids to say yes to homeschooling. Like if we would have had a center close to us when we were doing it, it would have been a little easier to convince Landon, because he would have seen a bunch of buddies going to here and be like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, maybe I'll go because there's friends over here, and then I can get them a little more convinced. But plus, not just that, the main benefit is just the amazing job you guys do at incorporating leadership and everything else in between, even athletics as well, and in bringing athletes and leadership is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's the coolest part. At all their centers, they have gyms. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever to have a gym at a micro school. I'm just like, that's a dream come true for me.
Yeah, it's really fun. We have it's slowly becoming the new thing. I like to say we're revolutionizing education. You know, you don't have to sit at a desk for 7, 8 hours. We do just 1 to 10 ratio, but we do, yes, we're very big. Obviously, my business partner, like former Super Bowl champ, was 3-sport athlete, D1 level, where sports are so important to us and just the lessons that it teaches the children. And so we do have a lot of high level athletes. And so to be able to go to school and train in the same place, only 4 days a week, and get everything in, our kids are actually more advanced and accelerated than their people who are, you know, traditional private charter public schools. So it's been a fun journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm sorry I was butchering the name of the entire thing, the Elite Performance Prep Academy.
Yes.
In CRMX is which I'm used to seeing it. It just says Elite Perform and then it stops. So then I don't know what the rest is in my head unless I look at it, you know. Anyways, I was just laughing. I was like, oh, she's gonna probably throw something at me later. But yeah, that's cool. I'm so glad you're here. So thank you for being here. And if you have any insights for us on growing businesses and stuff, or just connections, stick around. You can listen in the background or keep talking or sharing anything. So like John's here, Josh, Jeff, and Jeremy, we are all in solar to some capacity. Pretty deep capacity, but like more focused, some more focused in marketing and lead gen, others focus more on the install side, others focused on and that jump in here as well, even like insurance, like it all somehow connects in, let's just call it home services. So that's kind of where this group kind of originates. But frankly, it's just business talk is what I'm hoping we can get more people on here. So recruit people in, Tasha. We literally talk about nothing. There's no agenda. So sometimes it'll go like I like to say, we'll even talk politics on here. Now we won't get mean, but we'll talk, hey, like we'll banter back and forth. We'll give, like Josh totally loves like Kamala Harris. So like he's like in love with her. So I just give him trouble.
Bad. I'm sorry.
See, I'm already doing it, Tasha. I'm just joking.
Just love her so much. It's my
but who cares? I don't want to take it down that road, but we will talk about things just to make it fun and be like, oh, you're full of shit or not, right? And so, but I'm the most full of shit of all people, so I'm fine with everyone calling me out on that. But yeah, that's what we do. Just so you guys know. So come join us anytime. Sometimes we're on here. I'm always on here at least about an hour and a half. But sometimes we've been on here for like 3 hours, not the same people the whole time, but like people just kind of roll in and out of the group in one call. So feel free to stick around however you want, Tosh. So good to see you. What's the who else has it? Tasha, go ahead.
I have a question for Tasha, if that's okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Where do you hold? Where do you have locations? Like where are they, or is it remote? How can you do some of that stuff?
Yeah, so we actually have some physical locations. We have 2 in Las Vegas, and we have one that's literally getting built out right now in Freeport, Florida. The walls are up. I think it's going to be completed in about 2 weeks. And
where in Florida?
Freeport, Florida.
Okay.
And then we're in it's in the works with a couple other spaces. We have some gym owners that have reached out to us that want to bring us in. And so that's kind of like the model that the owners gyms for us, like a classroom or so that we can go in there and do our thing. And then also there's different things that we're going to be putting up centers all over now. Florida, we're looking to go everywhere in Florida. Arizona has funding, Utah has funding. And when I say
hey, Jeremy, real quick, will you hit mute? I want to see something.
Yeah. I don't think it's me, but I'll hit mute.
So everybody hit mute if you're not talking. I think we can hear Tasha better that way.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And then also, yes, we have an online cohort as well. So we have students that tune in from all over the place. We have kids from Hawaii in class with kids from Washington and Florida, and, you know, kind of just all over. So we offer this for actually pre-K through seniors in high school, and we'll even beyond. So my background, I have 17 plus years of educational experience. I actually came from higher education, and it's crazy because I went through this whole unschooling for myself. I'm actually a mother of 8, and I've seen my kids, you know, progress in different things. And there's just different ways that I felt like, you know, the school systems have been failing our children. Not only that, there are a lot of things that kids are exposed to in school nowadays that I'm not okay with. So this is just our way to kind of protect our kids. Had you asked me if I was going to be a homeschool mom like 5-6 years ago, I would have laughed at you. I was like, that is not me. But now it is, these guys are learning life skills, how to change a tire, about sales tax. We're going to get into real estate, all the things that they should be learning at a young age that they don't, as well as heavy emphasis on character building and leadership. They are networking with professionals in the field that they want to work with. Very, very young age. So yeah, so it's a little bit about what we do, but we do have physical locations. And if you would like one in your neighborhood, we only need about 15 students to start, and we go look for space. So hope that answers your question.
Brent can do all of that. He's an Eagle Scout.
Absolutely.
I love you're hired.
Did you just say who can do all of that?
You.
I'm not an Eagle Scout.
Oh, I thought you were.
I got my tenderfoot.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were joking with me, Jeff. That's I was like, you bastard. That's funny. I don't know how to do any of that, but no, I think it's great. When you guys give us for example, Freeport. I like this idea of taking this discussion, at least right now, guys, through something a little bit different than solar, maybe, for a minute here. Teach us how this all works. Again, Tasha, you don't have to. I'll do the promo-y stuff, but like, give us the breakdown. Like, why, when you opened up Freeport, what are you doing? Why do you decide Freeport? Is it volume there, or is it a certain location? I know it ties together, but like, give us an idea how that all works when you open up a school like that.
So we actually ended up in Freeport because a mom actually, so thanks to Christy, so she homeschools, and then Christy was saying, hey, you need to follow these people. So she started following us, started following my personal page, and then reached out to me. We were opening up another center in Crestview, and she came and met and was like, I want this for my daughter. I want this opportunity. So I was like, great. We just need a few students to start it. We went out there and got our wait list going, and we're like, okay, we're coming out next semester. The reason why we're different is because they only come to us, or our full-time students, say in non-sports, they only come to us for 4 days a week, 3 hours a day. And in that time frame, so we teach at a 1-to-10 ratio. And in that time frame, they get instruction for all core subjects, as well as their character building, business entrepreneurship class. We're going to be implementing financial literacy, and just so many opportunities to lead. We do not stand up at the front. We don't even call ourselves teachers. We're coaches. So we're academic coaches. So we basically teach them how to lead and facilitate even the lessons. So they round up, and it's very student-led, conversation-based. They will take quote unquote tests, if you will, but I'm not a fan of standardized tests for many reasons. They'll do this together. It's a lot of discussion, and they have to actually think about what they're saying. We'd rather them deep dive into 10 concepts and really fully master and understand it so much so that they can turn around and teach it. We'd rather that than for them to scratch the surface on 30 subjects. These kids are master communicators, and they really stick out. Their manners, like, we don't play a lot of what passes, and just there's a lot of, I don't know, this up and coming generation. There's good things and bad things, but it's very different. And so we're big on respect. We're big on how to carry ourselves. So we teach all that. The student athletes, however, they go for a little bit longer. I want to say it's about a 6-hour day, and they get a strength and conditioning session, then academics, and then they get lunch, meditation, mental performance toughness, or training, and then they get sports specific skills, and then they get their last business class. So we're not a fan of busy work. By the time parents come pick them up, that is family time completely. And if they want to do extra reps, then they totally can. But, you know, nobody's forcing them to do any of that. We're really just giving the power back to the parents. We track their progress, and these kids, like I said, learn at an accelerated rate. So it is
that's cool.
Fun.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's one of those things where I know I found myself saying, man, you know, when you find something whether you're older, it's all relative, but where I thought, man, I wish I could gone to school like that. That would have been awesome for me. I would have much preferred. Now, I don't think it's a best fit for absolutely everyone. Depends, but I don't see how it wouldn't be better for majority of people to be educated in a way that have you guys ever seen Indiana Jones, the Crystal Skull? You guys remember that one? Did you guys see that? Anyone? Indiana Jones, Crystal Skull? No?
Saw it, but I
he
don't
comes sliding through. He rides a motorcycle being chased by something. Yeah, well, still, there's a moment where it's just stupid is why I like it. It's like he's riding a motorcycle through a library, and the motorcycle falls. They slide under the table after table, and it backs a student up in a chair. And he looks up at it, and he recognizes Indiana Jones, or, you know, Professor Jones. He's like, hey, and he just asks a question about school while the guy hits him in the chair, off of a motorcycle. And he's like, hey, you got to get out in the field. He gives him the answer, but he goes, you got to get out in the field. That's where you actually learn. And it was just kind of funny how, I don't know why I remember that, but that's what it always reminds me of. I'm like, hell yeah, because I was the kid in school that the only thing I remember from school, and I wasn't a great student, keep that in mind, meaning my brain doesn't necessarily work that well in school where I sit down and just memorize and listen. It doesn't work that well. Art, I can crush it. Art, I can do whatever you want me to do. But just like memorization, math, and all that, it makes me want to throw up a lot. So not using math, just the way it's taught, right? And so the point is I wished I would have had something where we are learning in an interactive way, applying it, using it in real life, and then it would crush. But the only thing I remember, guys, I don't know about you, I remember it this way. I remember cramming for something. That's what I remember. I don't actually remember the material I crammed. I just remember cramming. So that's not a good sign of education. When all you remember is your all-nighter, something of you're trying to figure out how to pass this exam the next day, and or whatever's coming up, and so you can do something else the following weekend or whatever. And that's all I remember. I don't actually remember what I learned. So that's a problem, I think. And that was my own fault as well. Not blaming necessarily just the school system, but I'm saying the school system doesn't necessarily encourage you to learn better than that as well. So a traditional school system that is public, or in a lot of private schools, it's cram, memorize, and brag about how much you learned in your test scores. And you're like, good for you, because I've never been hired off of my fucking test score. Sorry, that was an F word. I've never been hired off of that. Ever. So I've been hired off of, do I get results? Do I know how to talk to people? Do I know how to negotiate a deal? Do I know how to get the job done well if I was painting a house? You know, do I know how to do that? Rarely is it the other stuff. So I'm pretty passionate about it, frankly. I would not be a good person to speak in front of people, Tasha, with this kind of thing, because I'd probably get mad as I talked about it. I feel like there's emotion that comes up. Hidden emotions come up, guys, as I talk about school. I'm not going to start cussing out teachers and stuff or something. But I'm glad you're here.
We could tell.
So thank you.
It was there.
Yes, good. I'm glad you could tell. John, what are you up to, dude? Oh, and he just left right as I asked him, what are you up to? Thanks, John. Josh, what are you up to? What's the latest?
Not much. It's my last weekend here in Nicaragua. Then I'm up to Texas for services, then Canada, and then a few EPC visits across the U.S. after that, I think, right before Christmas. So that's the upcoming.
What are EPC visits? Like EPCs you work with?
Yeah, I'm going to be focusing a lot on doing in-office consultation for building up their remote sales and operations.
Nice.
That's a big focus for the end of the year and going on next year.
Sweet. Sure. Good. And guys, just so you know, Josh's resting bitch face that he has when he's doing that, he's focusing on programming something. We just don't know what it is until later.
Well,
so he's always working on something.
It's actually video editing. I just realized I never posted any of our Solar Villa training footage. So I have like 10 hours of footage I'm editing and exporting and compressing now. It's fucking, my computer is like as hot as the surface of the sun. So it's,
You're like trying to not give it more.
When you're working with like 4K, 10, 20 gig files, it's like, fuck. And my internet here is Nicaraguan internet. So I'm uploading and it's taking like a full day to do one upload. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I hear they have the best.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest.
Not for video. I mean, yeah, most of what you do doesn't require that much until you hit the video. That is the online business world. It's not like you need a super upload speed.
My webinars as well. My webinars I have to, and it wasn't working, so I had to insider info. Dang. Potentially, the past 1 or 2 webinars on VSC have been pre-recorded. Potentially.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yep. Hey, there's nothing wrong with a pre-recorded webinar. Yeah.
I don't know. A little birdie told me that Josh recorded them on Tuesday and uploaded them instead of them being live.
Well, cool. Good, man. Good to have you here. John, you popped off right when I asked, what are you up to lately, dude? It's been a few months at least since we talked last.
Yeah,
yep.
Can you hear me okay? Same old, man. Just trying to get more sales. Going into Q4 with solar, it's slowing down, but trying some new markets out. Las Vegas is super hard, like right now.
Yeah.
I mean, gonna try to sell 25 to 30 this month. We'll see how that goes. But
wait, you're not in Vegas? I thought you were in Florida.
I'm in Vegas. Yeah, I went to Florida.
Were you in Florida?
Yeah, I was in Florida like last week. So.
Oh no, then I was just thinking wrong. Sorry, my bad. I thought you lived in Florida this whole time.
No, it's all good. Maybe one day. I like it up there.
Vegas is a cool place. Tasha's in Vegas. Their headquarters in Vegas.
Dude, that's awesome.
They're right there. Elite Performance is. That's cool. So you've been building it up. Have you been focusing mostly on your own dealership, or have you been doing other work for others quite a bit right now, like agency type stuff?
Just my own dealership, just Spanish. So
nice.
Yeah, it's been tough.
Good.
Just been tough lately, man. But I think it's gonna get better. With all these lenders like changing, Everbright changed the pricing. It's like we were in California as well, so. Just getting used to that, but everything's going good, man. Cannot complain too much.
What's the change on Everbright? I don't know. I'm out of the loop on that.
Yeah, EB changed pricing like 2 weeks ago on batteries. So,
like good or bad?
Prior to like 2 weeks ago, there's like this cool pricing trick in EB if you were doing, if you were selling batteries to where you could like change the pricing from the solar or the PV and the battery, so you could actually put more into the battery and raise the PPW up. And it was actually like you could make like 30 to 70 cents more in Everbright than anyone else. But now it seems like EB is not the way to go in California. I think the way to go in California right now is Enfin. I don't think Enfin is in California yet, but Light Reach, we're running Light Reach now instead of EB for 4 PPA specific. But hopefully that's it. Anyone else?
Is it effectively a PPW cap that they changed?
So exactly. Ultimately, you can't change the battery in the solar anymore. Now, if you change the battery in the solar, as far as when you're pricing it instead of full project, you can price it solar and the battery. You could change those pricing. But now, if you change that pricing, it doesn't do anything. Prior to, if you change the pricing, what we used to do is we used to put like, if it was $150, you could put like $100 into the battery and then like $35 into the solar, and your PPW is like 40 to 60% higher. But they got rid of that rule. Like,
do they allow for additional items like energy efficiency?
Yeah, I mean, you just build that in your PPW, you know.
So usually, maybe this is live, so maybe I shouldn't be giving hacks, but
no, it's
look
good.
at energy efficiency.
Okay.
That might be a key, because usually finance providers have a solar PPW cap, solar plus battery PPW cap, and then they'll allow for energy efficiency with additional margin within reason. You don't have to itemize it with pricing for energy efficiency, but they might hit you up after the sale is done and say, hey, can you just give us a cost breakdown of each item? As long as they're within reason, they have some margin on it, they'll be fine with it. I'm not sure about Everbright, but others, maybe take a look.
Thanks, man.
That's cool.
Yeah. I like these talks, dude. I don't know if it's just me, but if you're in the solar game and you're kind of running your own thing, like you don't have a lot of friends, dude. And I don't have a lot of friends, honestly. So it's nice just to connect sometimes, just with other like-minded people, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that's literally the purpose of it. Because I live out in the middle, John. If you remember, I live out in the middle of the country, of nowhere. I might as well live in Nicaragua. So like, just better internet, and and I won't leave my property for 5 or 6 days straight. I won't even see another person besides my son or my wife. And all of a sudden I'll be like, dude, I gotta talk to somebody. We gotta talk about nothing. And I talk to people, all the time, but it's like it's about CRMX, or it's about marketing, or it's about business, and meaning getting something done for them or done for our company, right? It's nice to just talk about outside of that, dude. I agree.
You want to try something though? You want to try something that, like, when I was a kid in a small town, I don't know if you live in a small town, but if you try this in Vegas or you try this in Denver, maybe in Denver they'll be a little nicer to you. But so I don't know. I just tried this experiment like 2 weeks ago, and I just been trying to do it every day. And it's like the experiment is, you say hi to everybody that passes you. So if you're in Vegas, dude, like, I don't know, I go to like a super nice gym, right? How many people you think said hi back, or even like looked up?
10%.
Like 10%, exactly, dude. Like, wow. No, they look at
you. You got to come to the South. We don't do that in the South.
No,
they're like, hey, Shug, how are you?
Yeah, dude, if I said I go into the gas station here, or the DG, like Dollar Generals, that's the thing here. The DG is like that's the place to be. And like they like, hey, say hi to your wife, sweetie. Like that's how it goes. I'm like, I will. I'll say hi to my wife, sweetie. Like, and I'm sweetie, or I'm Shug, or I'm honey, or baby. Shug, honey, baby, sweetie. Like those are my names, and that's not even picking up on you. That's just normal here.
I miss like driving into your neighborhood, and your neighbor says, "Hey, what's up, John?" Or the other neighbor's like, "Dude, what's up? Dude, you want to come over? I got a barbecue cooking."
Yeah.
It's like no one knows anybody. You try to say hi, you like knock. Hey, you just moved in. It's just like, dude,
I could confidently say that the John, besides you and I, Josh, Matt, Jeremy, and Jeff, and then I'm sure there's tons of people in here watching, or I say tons, other people watching in here. There's another person, Jeff Blue.
What's up?
We got Jeff Blue. And we got Jeff Green. That's Ninja then.
Bro.
That's Ninja.
Ninja! What's up, Jeff Blue?
I would say this though, John. All of these guys would be those neighbors. You guys are definitely those people where I'd be like, dude, let's do a barbecue. All right, I'm in.
Right?
Every one of these guys are all fun guys for that.
100%.
Hell yeah.
If it's steak and beer, I'm down 100%.
Yeah, we got Jeremy Rose, Matthew.
I'll fly out right now.
Like, all right, this is a whole new cast. Christy's on here.
Yeah, Christy's on here. She was on video before, and now she left because
that's okay. I'm not on video either. It's all good.
Oh, Ninja.
Jeff Blue, bro.
I mean Ninja Blue over here. Well, cool. What else? Well, Jeff, what are you up to, dude? The actual Jeff Green.
Oh, Jeff Green. First, good to talk with y'all. It's been too long. Loving that. So probably there's this little bit of weather y'all heard about, kind of passed through the Sunshine State here. So today I did a little yard cleanup and whatnot, but luckily my area we were good, so that was a blessing.
Yeah, where are you at? So everyone understands.
I'm in Orlando, basically.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, Central Florida. So, yep, I didn't even lose power, thankfully. But I know a lot of people who did. I mean, one of my scouts just got power back this morning for their family. Most of them got it back yesterday if they had lost it. That's good. But now, obviously, with the storm and the fact that, where I work, we service, about 40,000 roofers. We're going to be really freaking busy down here for that. Even though I am solar, on the solar team, I'm going to be helping out a lot in that side for a few minutes. In fact, Eagle View's like, yeah, go do the demo of our drone for anybody that you can. There's also some solar data that I'm trying to collect on the side with that. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal for me. But
is it Geoff? Geoff?
It's Jeff.
Oh, sorry, man.
No worries. As long as you don't call me late for that barbecue, we're cool.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm looking for a good installer in Florida. You guys installing it or no?
No, so Eagle View, we don't install anything. We're a data provider. We have our own. Okay. Yeah, we have a fleet of airplanes. We collect a lot of information. But I know pretty much everybody that you should work with in the state of Florida. So I can definitely connect you. Hey, Brent, do you have his number?
I don't have his number, but we can DM that way. We'll do a group DM right now in the background. I'll do that while you guys chat.
Cool. I mean, I'll share my number on here. If you're a friend of Brent's, I'm cool with you. So 407-491-6146. Again, that's 407-491-6146. Yeah, just shoot me a text and I'll take care of you as best I can. Connect you up with a few people and let you figure out who works well with you and vice versa.
There's even a guy named Josh King that probably has some connections out in Florida.
That is a fact.
You're right.
I was just going to say that probably everyone on here could give you a good
yeah, that's
an idea better.
That's true. That's true. I am a bit more agnostic, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah.
But no, everybody here has good connections, and Florida is obviously a great state for solar and roofing. So everybody on here knows 12 good teams to work with.
Hey, I apologize. I was a little late. Lead in. What's your name, man? I'm Nick. Jeremy, you and I have met through Panda and some other things.
Hey, what's up, man? My name's John Soderberg.
Of course. Yeah, I know who you are.
Okay. Cool, man.
John's been in all the Facebook groups for a long time.
Yep.
That's where I first saw him. We were chatting back and forth probably 3 or 4 years ago, dude. And we didn't know that. We didn't know each other, but I remember we've chatted back and forth.
One of the OGs like you, man. Maybe not as old of an OG as you, but
probably. I didn't enter solar till 2000, like end of 2019 or mid 2019. Like that's when I started just studying it.
Yeah, but you came in with some hitters, man. You came in with like Earl Capule and Taylor Armstrong.
Right. Yeah. I came in it with like a full force business. I'll say that. So where I was like, all right, we're not playing around. Let's recruit. Let's get the best people that know what the hell they're doing because I don't.
I love that Matt's just sitting out there in the sun, like we're all near the West Coast.
I'm pretty new to solar too. I'm about 7 years in, so
yeah,
I'm one of those young ones too.
Yeah,
is that Ninja? Where's he at?
Josh has been in solar like 12 years or something like that. I want to say.
Yeah, he's one of the OGs. Would I be a tween at 7 years? I don't know.
Oh, 7 years.
Yeah, you're a tweener.
Okay.
Well, we gotta pick up on your vocabulary a little bit. Did you say slay or like cap or like what are you saying?
Oh. I still say sus. I mean, I guess I'm older than.
And you seem a little sus right now, Jeff. I don't know how I feel.
Yeah, sus is already outdated. That's still last year.
Oh, I know. I have a 15-year-old daughter. I'm very aware that's way outdated. Oh yeah, yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Jeff is by.
I have a lot of aura. but I don't have as much aura as Nick. See, there's some new words for you.
Whoa! You mean ninja? Who's Nick?
I don't know.
Nick,
Some Santa Claus motherfucker.
Oh, dude, this is I don't know about this is what I actually enjoy is the banter the most, and you guys I think have figured that out. But cool, Matt, what are you up to, dude?
Banter, Brent. What are you talking about?
I'm the worst
my
at
bad
it.
for being late. I got sucked into all the stuff happening in North Carolina. It kind of got sucked in for like 30 minutes watching all that stuff. But
Wait, what stuff? What am I missing?
just with the weather and just how everything's being handled over there, and kind of really what's going on.
You mean since the last hurricane? Before that, even since all the way up to today.
Yeah. So pretty crazy stuff. A lot of, I wouldn't really call them conspiracies, but a lot of wild stuff that people don't know is going on over there. So I just got sucked in watching that. But
no, it's really bad. I have a buddy who works in a hospital out there.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like the minerals and stuff, and just I don't know. It's crazy the shit that's going on over there.
What's
yeah,
going
other
on?
than that,
I'm kind of interested. What's going on?
huh?
Yeah, what is it? Give us the rundown, dude. Give us a summary.
Release the hounds.
Release the
Hang
hounds.
on.
You're good. Yeah, we'll take this minute for a commercial break. Here we are. Everyone that's listening live, the few people that jump in and out of here, this is Cigar Talk. We sit here and just network and talk about really anything. There is no agenda. There is the agenda is talk about stuff, introduce yourself, banter as much as you can, give each other enough shit but also also know that you're full of shit while you're giving shit. If you can do both at the same time, that's the kind of you're gonna get along here.
Hey, Brent, I hear you have a pool over there on Briar Street.
What? I don't get that joke. What is that one?
Yeah, it's full of the tears he cries when I beat him in arm wrestling.
That was a total Caddyshack quote. I was trying to help you give me some shit back, but
I haven't seen Caddyshack in so long that it's gone. Sorry, man. Bill Murray's awesome.
Sorry.
But yeah. No, I heard arm wrestling reference in there. No, he did not beat me in arm wrestling. No, he did not. Maybe with two.
I have the video. I have the video.
His whole body into it and laid on top of my arm. I don't know if that's arm wrestling, but
Josh.
That sounds like literal arm wrestling. Like he was actually wrestling with your arm.
Yeah. I held him up. What actually happened is first of all, I'm left-handed. I'm arm wrestling a right-handed because some mercy, And so and then from there he's pulling me down. I hold him there. He climbs on top of my arm, his whole body. He's literally just sitting on it like Indian style on top of my arm. I'm just holding his ass there. And so finally I was like, all right, I'll just let him win. I mean, that's pretty much how it went. He just like laid on top of my arm and said, I beat you. It was a bunch of bullshit. But hey,
dude,
whatever.
When he climbed on your arm, I was afraid you were gonna like pop a ligament or something.
Dude, hey Josh, kidding you not, like because I was arm wrestling the whole time there at SolarCon, not a ton, but enough. I haven't arm wrestled in so long, right? Like anything, and then you just go into it full force. For about a month and a half, I couldn't lift with my right arm. Like that, everything was torn. It was just like it was so bad. For a week, my arm ached in the middle of the night. It was that bad. I was like, that was the dumbest idea I've ever had. But I'm a baby. I get it. See this.
He's scared because he sees I've been working out. So next time I find him, he's going to go, I don't want to hurt myself, man. I'm just laying the groundwork for the excuses.
I got you.
They got some.
You look good though. You do look in shape.
I'm not.
What's going on in Nick's world or Ninja's world?
Me? Oh, dude. Actually, I'm up in Michigan doing like you guys know. I do fiber and telecom space stuff at this point. Obviously, I still do solar in Texas and some other places. But, dude, I actually got to see the Northern Lights last night.
Oh,
I
dude,
saw that.
sweet.
Jeff, I'll send you some pictures right now. It was insane.
Fuck
So
yeah, dude.
my mom told me this trick, and I didn't know this. So your bare eye, even if you can't quite see it, if you take a picture with a camera, the camera can see it. So I actually got like green and blue and like some really cool colors that I couldn't see with my bare eye, and it was amazing.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I think that's so cool to know that it's like, especially with the Northern Light, that kind of phenomenon where you don't actually see it. That's like when you in the movies when they're like looking in the mirror and they see a ghost in it. And you're like, oh shit, what was that? But it doesn't. You can't see it with your eyes.
Dude,
it's like
that's
magic.
not supposed to happen. That's not what normally happens.
Yeah.
Oh, this B&B we're at, it has 80 acres on the back area, and one of the girls came out and took us out. We were able to go like in the middle of nowhere, no city lights, no light pollution. It was insane.
Where are you
That's
at in
cool.
Michigan?
Grand Rapids is probably the closest place. We're in
okay.
Phoenix.
Sweet.
Okay, that brings us back to thanks for the update real quick, Ninja. Now it brings us back. Let's close the loop on what Matt was telling us. What was it? What's the summary of what's going on?
Oh, dude. All right. So none of you guys have like been following it?
Matt,
My friends have told me about it.
I'm not sure what you're about to say, but I probably read the same thing. So I think
well, there's a few layers. There's a few layers to it, but essentially, part of it's like, well, one, no one's getting any support up there. People that are trying to help the families in the community are like being turned around, and the government's pretty much saying you can't go help people. Like people are trying to go in there with their private helicopters, and they're starting to shut people down because it's been like 6 days and people have like no water or food. So, and then on top of the news, just kind of like downplaying the amount of people that are like have died. It's like in the thousands right now, because just some mountain towns that have never experienced flood before, like would never prepare for it, are just totally wiped out, gone. So, yeah, it's just wild the lack of support they're getting. And then people are just digging up these crazy contracts of really high net worth individuals who prior to the floods have plans on building mining operations in North Carolina because it has the world's greatest deposit of quartz.
Lithium.
Yeah, lithium and quartz, which is used, to make like computer chips. And so people already have like massive multi-billion dollar contracts with companies to mine in that area. And it's just kind of like a coincidence that they've tried proceeding with these operations, but they're getting a lot of pushback from the local residents. And there's already existing mines there that are trying to expand, and the surrounding communities are just giving them pushback, like, hey, we don't want to, like, we live here, you guys can't just expand. So right after that, just a crazy massive flood and storm happened. And there's talks of the people just already trying to like buy up that land, and the residents and communities they're going to be gone. It's just going to be a mining area. So it's just insane. Like the kind of, on top of like the amount of money that's being supported for other countries and the amount of support that we're giving to other countries and the almost like non-existent support that's going to these people, it just looks like insane. So that's kind of like the summary of it. A lot of
a
lot of shit.
My opinion, and it's not a well-educated opinion besides what you're talking about. And Christy has updated me on a lot of this. Like I walked in the other day and she's like in tears watching some of this because it's just people like suffering. For in a lot of ways, nature. It was caused by nature. It's not like somebody actually went in and flooded their house and.
There's another.
There's an
But
Matt, I'm with you on
I'm not saying that's the only thing. I'm just trying to say all of that. My what was I going to say? Oh, it seems like what I was going to say. My uneducated guess here, which almost means nothing, I guess. But tell me if it seems accurate from what you've learned. But it seems like we have our little systems in place, FEMA and things, and then that's all we'll do. We won't go above that. It's like, cool, nope, this is it. That's all you get. And don't ask us for more. In fact, we'll reject anything else that's extra. And it's weird. I'm like, why? How is that even? Why is that an option? Why can't we actually do more? Why can't we give either the community or the fail-safes, government / whatever, private funding, anything? It just seems like they won't accept anything. No, we have FEMA and this is it. And it's maybe not. I know there's other organizations, but.
No, that's a huge part of it. Yeah, that's a huge part of it. And there's clips of the current president being asked like, hey, is there any more help? And him saying, no, that's the most we can do, or the most we're going to do. Not even like the most we can do. He's just saying, no, that's the most we're going to do. And it's just, but back to like the weather thing, we've been able to manipulate the weather since the 40s. With certain technology. So, whether that's been advanced and worked on behind the scenes to the point where we can do stuff like this, I don't know. That's more on the conspiracy side. But some of the things that are being dug up makes it not too far-fetched. There's open talks of scientists being like, oh, yeah, you could easily put in these certain molecules. And as long as there's clouds in the sky, you can just create it so where it just rains a little bit more than what it would normally do, just by
it goes deeper, man. You can actually aggravate the electrons that are exactly what you're saying to cause stuff like that. In Dubai, you can actually pay for certain weather if you want to. So I've also gone down the rabbit hole, man. One of my friends works for the government and was talking to me about FEMA before those storms. He's like, dude, if a hurricane hits, we can't afford it. Now, I will say that that most people see on the news, the $750, FEMA spent over $1 million trying to help. There is stuff going on that people don't see, but they are obviously limited by budget and everything else.
But when you're talking about million versus like multi-millions,
other countries,
it's so crazy, dude. It's like it's just blatant. At this point,
versus us leaving $80 billion worth of military equipment for the Taliban.
It's just so silly.
That was a genius move.
It's something that should be discussed openly instead of people and still call it a conspiracy. Fine, but I think you might as well discuss it openly and get answers openly from people who are in charge. Supposedly in charge. They might as well be like, no, this is how it happened. This is what's happening. Yes, you can manipulate the weather. No, we didn't. There just needs to be direct answers. You know what I mean?
But there's no way. It would never happen like that.
That's just, it's dumb if it can't happen that way because you're just leaving it to people.
To spectator, right?
Brent Attaway for president, right?
Systematize this bitch. But other than that, I mean, I don't know if we want to switch gears, but
switch gears.
Other than that, I'm starting kind of like a newish venture of helping investors, like real estate investors, pretty much their funding gaps for like if they have to put EMD down, like earnest money deposit or down payments or like double closing, and just kind of being a lender for those kind of transactions. So just getting more into real estate, which is the end goal.
Nice.
So that's going to be cool.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about real estate, and you've been into it for a couple of years, or a year and a half, I want to say.
Yeah,
I mean,
since like
investigating it,
2020.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Matt, have you caught up with like Carlos Villanueva or like Chad Yellowslova or any of those guys?
Yeah, I haven't caught up with them, but I know what they're like. I've seen what they're doing, so that's super cool.
I had a subcontractor out there in Fort Worth. Like what they're doing is insane, dude. It's I know Josh. You know those. You got to know those guys from Australia, right? Or wherever. Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Carlos is an old sales rep of mine.
Yeah.
Who said
So Josh did. But yeah, it's sick because he's just taken what he created with the solar as far as like the systems and the teams and stuff, and now just shifting over to real estate, which a lot of people do. Real estate's just tried and true, so it's one of those things. But
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Let us know. How are we supposed to help you get moving in there? Anything? Connections? What?
pretty much my target is wholesalers or like fix and flip investors are kind of the main ones. Because essentially there's a lot that goes into buying and selling real estate as anyone, even if it's on the retail market or if it's off market. But there's a lot of like closing fees and transaction coordination, earnest money. There's a lot of little chunks of money that if someone's doing like a lot of deals, they're not going to want to deploy their own capital in a bunch of those deals like that. So someone like myself would just come in for a few days, put in that capital for them to close the deal, and then I just get my capital back plus like a return. So
Nice.
it's pretty crazy. There's a whole community based around it. I don't know if you've heard of Pace Morby at all, but he does a lot of like creative finance stuff. But he's just like a master at building community. Somebody's got like a crazy.
Yeah, somebody. If you're in here, push mute. Maybe that's Earl.
Probably might be
we got
me.
Earl
Sorry.
and Herschel Hudson in here. Let's go.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
So sorry, I made sure I was on mute, you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah, but that's about it.
Yeah.
What up?
Matt,
What up,
we'll have to. You guys hit up Matt if you have any ideas or need some ideas from Matt. That would be good because he's been studying this stuff, creative financing.
Matt now.
That'll be good. But yeah, what's up, Herschel? I know, and Earl's just joined us in the background. I don't know if Earl's in a position to. He'll jump on the camera if he can. But
what's up, guys?
Earl?
Earl's out in Austin.
Earl's the best.
Matt's down in the Hurricane City, bro. How's it going? I'm sorry, Herschel's down in Hurricane City, bro. How's it going?
Yeah.
Are you hanging in there?
I'm near Brent.
No, sorry, Herschel. This is Ninja, by the way. Jeff Blue was my twin brother, Jeff Green, and I were on, so I went with Jeff Blue.
Yeah, we haven't had Eric on yet, which we would have some creative name. He always gets somebody calling him by some name.
Is anybody else affected by the hurricane or no? Dude, so we have solar on our Airbnb, but I feel embarrassed to like talk about not having power in our regular house. You know what I mean? Because we rent it. So I'm like, I'm just not going to say anything. I fled to Pensacola.
There's probably a guy or two on here that could help you out with the battery, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know if I know anybody that sells solar, honestly. You know,
I'm someone that sells like water purification is what I was trying to find.
What's going on?
Anybody else in that area or no? I know Earl's over here, and then Brent, you're like in Crestview, right?
No, I'm up. Yeah, Panama City. Think north of Panama City. Yeah, so we didn't. It was a sunny day, dude. It was a nice day while you were experiencing nothing.
It's been gorgeous. I've been here in Pensacola, and then my wife just got back today, and she flew out there. I feel embarrassed. I can't say anything about it on Facebook, so please bleep this out. But we were out of power still at both my house and her shop, so I'm ashamed.
Oh, gotcha.
Dude,
that's just how it goes, dude.
I sold my first deal in Tampa today. Virtual, baby.
Nice.
Who did?
I did.
Hi, baby John.
What, John? My man.
Yes,
is Joe on here? Oh my God, my hero, bro, in the flesh.
Yeah, who do you know that is not Joe is not their hero, man? I don't even know
If
somebody
Joe
that wouldn't say
died
Joe's my
today,
hero.
I know one thing. There'd be no dancing. Everybody'd be crying. Okay.
What's up? Say hi, Joe.
I'm hearing crazy echoes. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Oh, we got the Moose Man.
Yo,
How about
I'm hearing
now? Is that better?
crazy echoes over and over and over again. I heard Trey. What up? You guys hear me?
I hear that
You're in a
SolarCon's going to be in Las
professional studio,
Vegas.
Joe.
Is
We
it
can
true?
Yeah,
Joe, we
let's
hear you
go.
great. Hold on real quick on the audio. Is anybody else hearing major echo, or is that some kind of reverb on Joe's end? Is it everybody?
You may have 2 tabs open. That's what happened to me earlier.
All right,
No?
I'm going to get out. Come back in.
All right. Anyways, I'm hearing background noise, but not echo. I'm not hearing any echo. There's Earl and his steering wheel. Earl, if you just pop the camera down and spread your legs, we'd see a great view. You're good, man.
Uh-oh. You got to pay for that.
You got to pay for that. Very nicely done. Very nicely done.
I gotta go, guys. Take it easy. Have a good one. Peace.
All right. Hey, good to see you, Josh.
Josh.
Later, dog.
Hey, see you, Josh.
Peace.
Well, cool. Somebody else I thought jumped on here. It was Joe and Herschel, and then I felt like somebody else. Oh no, it is Earl. Earl, what are you doing? Is April sitting next to you over there?
No, I just got out of a close here in Austin.
That a boy.
You just got out of a close?
Yeah, in Austin.
Dope, bro.
Congrats,
I
man.
love that.
Where's the bell? Ring the fucking bell.
And you were saying you got a couple of leads and closes already moving, man. What are you doing out there? Who are you working with?
Bing, bing, bing.
Earl's killing it. Well, he was
Yeah,
asking you
I've been
who
liking this
you've been
market so
working
far.
with, Earl. Who have you been working with in Texas?
Super delayed on his
Earl's
end.
working with Rufio. It's JD De La Rosa.
Dude, love him.
JD is out there, and Earl's crushing it out there. I'll let Earl jump back in when his signal comes back. But I was just kind of asking questions to further the conversation here.
Filling it in.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, here we go. Here's a couple more joining back in.
Okay.
Here we go. Jeff's back in. Joe's back in. There we go.
Joe's back in.
Look at that. It's a bicep fucking match.
The
today.
moose.
Let's go.
Guns
I had
on.
my
got-
other Facebook open.
I have
That's why I was
biceps
echoing.
today.
It was my fault.
Joe, what's up, brother?
Let's go. We got all the best people in the solar
Tell us
industry here.
about
What's up?
SolarCon this year, bro. 'Cause I'll be honest.
Okay, first of all,
Everyone's
look at
been
this. I got my SolarCon gear on today, dude. I got my warm-up pants, SolarCon warm-up pants on. Right, I have my.
SolarCon
It's a little chilly.
Dude,
So
what was really
SolarCon is
amazing
where-
at SolarCon, you expect it to be cool, you expect it to be great, but like having Gary Vaynerchuk at your event, dude, like, I mean, and I don't mean to, and Andy Elliott, and of course, Jeremy Minor, like, dude, the speaker lineup that y'all have pulled off is just, I mean, I was not expecting it to be so, elite, right? That's incredible.
And did I hear a rumor you also got the Ninja and Jeff Green?
Maybe that might have happened. Well,
Joe's
this
my
year
hero.
being in Vegas is huge, though, man. We're gonna have an amazing time there. That's like one of the things I think we get even more people more excited, have more fun. But we're gonna change some things up. We learned some things too, so we're gonna make it even better this year, bro. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna feel different.
How can you make it any better? It's impossible.
More attendees, more networking. We want more, active conversations happening. Not nobody bored. Packed house, just amazing times, bro.
Hey, Ninja,
Jeff, who you got in the background?
I got a question, Joe.
Hi, guys.
Go, thank you.
Jeff, just keep the camera on your better half. I think we're happier with that face.
I understand this.
Everyone but me is happier with that face.
Everybody, some inside thing going on.
You know, Nick and I, we have a special relationship.
We don't need it. We don't have to say it on camera, Jeff. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh man. Good. We got a good crew here. So yeah, what do we want to talk about next? We've talked about, let's review. We've talked about
I'd love to hear more about SolarCon. Like, I mean,
okay.
I don't know. I think everybody here was at SolarCon except maybe John Soderberg, who's
Herschel. I think I actually met you in person.
Soderberg.
I'll be there this year. It's 14 minutes.
Bro, you're the legend, dude. Come. Either me.
Gotta be there.
Somebody's going to pay for all your stuff. Just show up, please.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
We got amazing discounts at the hotel.
Well, he's in Vegas. If he doesn't go this time, I'm gonna slap him. He's
You're
in
never
Vegas.
going to be able to find him, Brent. That's the problem.
You can just go to his house, knock on his door, be like, bro.
Yeah. Like show up with a big check that doesn't mean anything. It's just an invitation.
I'm there.
It's a big next to 10,000.
You won all of Solar. You win.
You have won a free ticket to SolarCon. You still gotta pay, but it's free. I'm just but yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Joe, we've gone over. You guys probably didn't see anyone watching now if you didn't hear about SolarCon. What are the highlights, Joe, on the change up? So Vegas is one. That's a big one.
Yeah,
location change.
We wanted some more like networking and talking about different aspects of the industry. So we're actually adding into the middle of the whole expo floor a 60 by 60, like 25, 27 round tables of just discussions about solar and different topics. It just open free to everybody. Just instead of lounges where people are just separated and then you really don't have the conversations. This is where people are forced to have conversations, and I think that's going to be a huge fun part. What do you guys think?
Joe,
I like that. That's cool.
Table has like its own topic too, right? So, like, is that correct? So you could walk up to a table and just be like, "I want to learn about AI," and you'll have people there sitting there.
Yeah, a table could be about CRMs, and then Brent will just happen to be sitting there, and you're like, "Oh shit, Brent, what's going on?" You just start talking naturally, organically, and make it more less like just more casual, right? Just having more casual, organic conversations. But then it's more like you get to a topic, you get to the results, you really get to that conversation as opposed to not sure what to talk about, what we're here for, and this becomes, how are you doing? How's the weather? Now, let's actually talk about something specific and learn something from each other, right?
Yeah.
I love that idea, actually. A lot.
That's a great idea.
This year,
that's my favorite thing. I saw what Jake posted. That's my favorite thing, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and this year, we have a lot of the industry is going through some turmoil, but you see all these companies coming out with amazing products and services and solutions and figure out what we can do here. How can you go horizontal here? How can another financing option here? So we're going to actually have places on the floor. You know how you go to a mall or Costco, you have those guys doing ShamWows, do some of these presentations. We're actually going to have our sponsors, our companies show their products and services right on the expo floor and do a little stage microphone and kind of do a product presentation so that we can really understand what these companies are offering, what they have, as opposed to not knowing or waiting for a random email or hearing it from somebody else. You get to hear it from the horse's mouth,
Yeah, that's cool. And then in order to do that too, I know some of the feedback you guys hear, correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but the pros and cons of having a ton of speakers, the con of it in the past is you don't get the opportunity because you're trying to figure out the speakers. So you guys have reduced speakers on purpose.
Big
right?
time. Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
But
so less speakers and more talking. Yes, and more conversations. Yeah. Which, but we're not going to be. I know we're not going to be shorted on the speaker quality. That should, in fact, it'll just be more. We don't have Brent up there talking crazy marketing shit anymore. We got. I remember when I said.
It's after right?
And it's in Vegas, so we're gonna take advantage of that. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Pre parties, after parties, private parties. We actually have on the expo floor. Private suites, like 1,000-foot private suites that sponsors can rent out, and then have private parties in there too. So it's meeting rooms, just more of a place people can really connect to each other.
I want to do more promoting because I feel like the only issue with your events is just that not enough people showed up. Because honestly, Joe, I mean, I've been to a couple of events, man. And it was, I mean, the only event that I've ever been that was close to as awesome as yours was like 10X GrowthCon, right? Back in like 2019 in Miami, there was like 30, 40,000 people. Other than that, like the way that you get, I mean, everybody there's for the same reason. I can't get over how much value I've received from SolarCon. So like, I really wish that I feel like a lot of people, right as you're about to leave for an event, you're just like, I gotta do this, and you just don't go. I promise. Like every time you go, you will feel that way right before you show up, and as soon as you show up, it's just the most welcoming experience. Because like honestly, there's solar's really niche where everybody there are a ton of people that came in and out for like 6 months, but there's only so many of us that have been here for like years.
Hey, Brett, can't get that recording, please? I won't get that.
Yes, it's in. It's already.
I love it, dude. Honestly, Joe, you've changed my life in so many ways. Brent, John, honestly, y'all have been like such inspirations. It's been so cool to follow y'all. I know I'm only 30. I know you guys are only like a year or two older than me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And so like
2 or 3.
It's been super grateful. I mean, I can't get over the mentorship that y'all have just provided and the value. And then when I actually show up to the event and like y'all brought Facebook to life, it's just incredible. And then everybody there is so willing to help.
Dude, so yeah, Joe, to remind you, last year you were in the car. So Matt, Herschel, myself, who else was in the car? Pete, was Pete in the car with us? Pete,
Tyler, right? Pete skipped out. We had who's our buddy? What is that? Tyler.
Oh shit! We had a time in the car coming back from that poker. It wasn't the poker tournament, like the after party one. It was the one like off day 2 or something like that, day 1 or 2.
It was crazy.
In the mansion with that big
Tesla.
Yes, it was me.
Won a lot of fake money.
No.
I'm gonna post it tomorrow and tag everybody.
Yeah, he keeps making up lies, but I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, it was fun, dude. But in the car, I was my stomach hurt so bad. We were laughing so hard. But those kind of experiences are so good, dude. So the fun time. Matt and I have stayed. Events in general are amazing, I think. And I'm not. I love this kind of stuff. I have a feeling John and I are a little bit the same. A little bit like, hey, I like being in my home and chill and do my work. But then at the same time, I get like in a hole, like in a little box. I'm just like sitting here. And so when I get to these events, I'm like so good because I met Matt. We stayed at the Airbnb together for Ryan Stuman's event. I forgot the name of it. But we were just like chilling at the Airbnb. Yeah, we just like I was like, hey, who wants to come stay in the Airbnb? I have there's a house with several rooms. So Matt comes in and we're just hanging out. So we hung out there. And then again at SolarCon, and now it's just built. It just stacks your relationships so good, and I love that part because although I'm an introvert in a lot of ways, I value relationships quite a bit. So
Ninja was my roommate before SolarCon.
Oh, there we go.
You were at SolarCon, right, Geoff?
I stayed with Jeff and I stayed with Earl.
Jeff, I mean, I say Geoff. I'm sorry, Jeff, right?
I got
Geoff
in here.
I met you there. That makes perfect sense.
Geoff,
man. You came in like second day or something. I feel like you skipped a day, bro.
Who's Jeff Blue? This is Ninja.
Yeah, that's Ninja.
Sorry,
that's Ninja.
I know everybody.
He's fucking with me. He's just fucking with me. That's all good.
It's Geoff and Balake, and we got what else do we got?
AA Ron.
AA Ron. Yeah.
Hey, yo, I got a question.
Earl,
what's up?
Did you just get pulled over?
Nope.
Oh, I thought I saw flash lights.
Nope. Hey, Joe.
What's your question?
So the question is, at SolarCon, from the last couple that you guys have done, do you guys use any kind of like feedback from all the attendees in any way as far as like, hey, what do you want to see more of? Have you been getting feedback as far as like what people have said after the event?
Oh, bro, like so much. It's like people feel like comfortable telling me their feelings about SolarCon. They're just not
yeah.
You did a great job.
Good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. A lot of good stuff, like Herschel, like Trey did right there, like great stuff. And then like, but there was not enough people, or this and that. So I'm always trying to listen.
You know, my only problem is I couldn't find Joe except for one time the whole show, and his smile just lights up the whole room. So where were the lights at, Joe? Huh?
You just gotta look at the antlers,
that?
bro. You see the
As soon as I saw you, we were laughing for like half an hour straight, bro. That was fucking insane.
Joe, you make my world, bro. You're an incredible person, and you do so much for so many people. I really can't get over it. I don't even know how you benefit, you know, and I just hope that you do. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for everything, bro.
You know what? As long as everybody else benefits, you know, as long as everybody comes to my funeral, that's what makes my day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
dude. I'll be like,
we got you.
A whole podcast after your funeral about Joe. Okay, like whenever that, if I outlive you, all right, if I'm lucky enough,
you definitely will, bro.
I got a SolarCon story.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, what is it?
Last SolarCon I went to, I think it was like 2 years ago. Joe, I don't know if you remember, but I had this this tag on it. It said "Need solar leads." I don't know if you remember that, but it saved my life because I got like 40 clients.
That was you?
That was me. Yeah,
I remember that. I did. Oh shit, dude, that stands
marketing,
out,
baby,
way
marketing.
Back there. Yes,
but,
that was awesome.
I got like 40 clients, man, and I was
yeah.
I was in a bind, so it really helped. So
wow,
looking forward to it this year.
Well, thanks for being there and thanks for helping them out, man. Because I'm sure you helped them out big time.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
I think the one
I
walked away with some I Heart FU money badges and a shirt.
I have a coaster.
Give me an idea.
Yeah,
I got.
Yeah, last year there was a lot of wands sitting everywhere. Did you notice that? The wands everywhere?
Yeah. It was in the bathroom.
Guerrilla marketing, man.
Yeah,
bathroom marketing. That's where it's at, dude.
But I'm getting a lot of great feedback already. You know, we were hesitant to ever go to Vegas, but this year just felt right, and I feel like it makes sense. A lot of people want to go. People know what we're doing at SolarCon, right? We're networking, we're learning, but it's also good to have fun, right? So we're trying to combine that, and I think we'll get more of the sales reps. Like last year, we still had over 2,200 people, but we had a lot of like executives and decision makers and leaders and trainers, and
you had really good attendees that are, to your exact point, they were decision makers. They were people who could pull the trigger on things at their companies, which
is great. Which is great, but there comes some negatives, right? When you have those kind of attendees, they're not the ones who are coming first thing in the morning and staying all day and listening to every speaker and being in the audience. They're coming in, they're making a meeting, and they're making a deal. I'm going to go somewhere else, right? And that's where we get the disconnect, where it felt like not a lot of people, but actually a lot of people were there, but they weren't staying the whole time, I think. And that's some of the feedback why having Vegas, now we're going to get a lot of reps and people who are going to actually be excited to be there from beginning to end. And we're not going to do the whole 8 to 8 kind of thing last year. We're going to cut that down to make it a little more Vegas hours. Like 11.
Yeah, what's the? I know it can change, but the plan's like 11 to like 5 or something like that. Isn't
11
it?
is 6. I want to get at least a good decent amount of speakers still in.
I feel like the last day though is the last day. It's a little bit earlier.
The last day is going to be a half a day, so we're going to end it half a day on third day too.
I also like that we can sleep in after having too many old fashions.
Yeah, you can do that, or you probably go meet up with somebody, go have breakfast, maybe come a little early, hang out. It just gives you more flexibility to not feel.
Jeff and I don't network much or talk to people there. We just go for the speakers.
I just sit in a corner by myself and ignore everyone.
Right.
Yeah. That sounds like you. Oh, the sarcasm. Well, cool. All right. Yeah, those are some good changes. I think it's going to be fun. The location and the time, and those two are huge. And then, of course, all the other ones.
Oh yeah, middle of the strip,
basically scheduled.
Middle of the strip, Caesar's Palace. We got great discounts on hotel rooms to make it really affordable. It's the middle of the week, so you can stay for the weekend and hang out in Vegas. So we try to really make it an easy week to go. It's a week before Earth Day. We may not get a lot of tax accounts come the first day because April 15th, but hopefully they'll come the next day. That's the only negative, I guess.
Well, that's not a big negative.
As someone that used to play poker as their job and live in Vegas, the middle of the week is significantly cheaper if you go out right now and get your place. It's You can get some deals, man.
It's on the website, so if you guys want to get the discounts, right up there, ready to go.
There you go. Yeah, you guys got a SolarCon block discount.
Yeah, big discount, and we only have enough for a third of the attendees, so people need to jump on it before they're all gone.
We have the bald eagle has landed.
The
bald eagle has landed.
Yeah.
What's up?
SolarCon.
Hey, everybody.
Good to see you, brother.
We got the SolarCon OGs right here.
Oh yeah.
What's up?
SolarCon's a fun one.
Yeah, we were just talking about Joe just gave us a good review or a good overview of all the main changes again.
I know, I heard. Thank you, Joe. That was very well put. I was listening. I'm just watching the Padres-Dodgers game.
Oh, what's the score?
Very nice.
Padres 0, Dodgers 1.
Oh man, there is a bunch of animosity between those teams, bro.
I know.
I'm Dodgers all the way, but I mean I do like the Padres, so I don't know where to go on this one.
Landon, my son, my 15-year-old that loves baseball, he's all Dodgers.
Oh, is that
How's he doing, bro? Brent, how's Landon doing, man? Last time I talked to him, he was killing it playing
Dude,
baseball.
okay, so I'll tell you how he's doing. Proud dad moments as you guys get it. All of you have different stages of kids or and some none. I get that. But for any of you who have whether daughters or sons, but mine happen to both be boys. And Chase is my oldest. He's 19 now, and he doesn't even live with us anymore. It's kind of nice. But Landon is our 15-year-old, so he's the only kid at home, and so he has all these tournaments. He's full in on baseball. So if there's anybody been like full in on a sport where you're like, I'm going pro, that's my only thing I'm doing, that's him right now. And so he's every week he trains, he does all this crazy stuff where I would have never been that dedicated, even though I loved sports and I was fairly decent at sports or whatever. And I'm just watching him play and grow, dude. He goes to all these tournaments, and we go up to Dothan, Alabama, which is a major place for baseball tournaments and stuff, travel ball. And right now it's fall ball, and he's been on the last 3 games, the last 3 weekends. We start tomorrow. He has another tournament he goes to, and he hit one a short hop to the fence. So he's a sophomore, right? He's the equivalent of a sophomore. He's homeschooled, so I guess there's not a sophomore in homeschool, but he's equivalent of a sophomore. He hits it, and he's playing 18U, which means basically that's your version of varsity ball, if you will, and travel ball. Okay, so he hits it, one hop to the fence, gets a double. Next game he gets up, hits it, and everyone stands up like whoa, and it hits the top 2 feet from the top of the fence. The damn it's and so after he hits the one hopper to the fence that hit the fence, now Dad's not proud, he's ashamed, right? I'm just like, Landon, why can't you just hit it 2 feet further? Gosh damn it. He knows me very well. He knows I'm very proud, and I'm giving him a little bit of crap after. I always but I'm like, dude, come on. I'm just like, come on. But no, he's loving it, dude. He's doing really good. His hitting is on point now. He's doing really well. He's a catcher, and he's full in on that. He's a damn good catcher for his age and his size, because he's not massive yet. I think he'll be a decent sized kid, which helps when you're a catcher and you can throw, But he's gonna be really good, I think. So I wouldn't say that of course I'm biased, but I think he's gonna be
He's
good.
gonna kill it.
He's full in on it, and it's fun right now. So pop time on a catcher, for instance, he has all that down. So pop times where as a catcher is the moment you get the ball, it hits your glove to the moment it hits second base. What's your pop time from there to can you get it to second base? Anything under 2 is good. High school, you're doing well. And he's at 1.98 to 2 every time. He's just crushing it. So he's starting to get there, dude. It's exciting. Wow. It's an exciting time because, man, there's been thousands of, I shouldn't say thousands, probably several hundred. We're up in almost 1,000 baseball games you watch from the time you're in Little League all the way till now. Wow. And I was just like, wow. And it's boring as hell all the way up until now. All the way until now. Finally, I'm like, hey, this is actually entertaining. Thank you for this.
That's so cool, if I could be half as good at Dad and maybe a quarter as good at solar, I'd probably make my dad proud.
I love Trey's good old compliment.
Who's Trey? Y'all the best.
When it comes to when he's like not practicing and stuff, does he ever do anything baseball wise when he's not like at practice and stuff, like at home?
What do you mean, like just on his own?
He's getting pulled over right now. He's definitely
He's getting pulled over, right? He's just running on camera.
It's the Northern Lights, guys. It's the Northern Lights. You can only see it on camera.
He's
just
driving
can't see
130 right now. At any moment, this could go south, and we're all pretending it's not happening, right?
I'm grateful that you're not giving me a ticket right now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bumper to bumper in Austin right now.
Yeah, to answer your question, Earl, he's always outside, dude. So if he doesn't have practice and they have like an off week or there's like fall ball ends, he'll be outside throwing down to a net. He has a net out there. He measures it out and he just sits there and practices pop time. He'll hit. He does all that stuff on his own. But Christy is the person. Trey is the person who's like the Wonder Woman, like freaking fanatic parent. So like I'm not the dad that's. Nothing wrong with this dad. I wish I was a little more like this, but like the dad's like, okay, here's what we're doing next. And not mean, just like, here's what we're doing. We got to develop your skill. I'm not like that at all. I'm just like, cool. What do you need? All right, got it. Let's go. You know, like I'm more like, let him go.
I met your oldest son. He's a good bit smarter than me. So, you know, I feel a little intimidated.
Chase is a freaking boss. I don't even know what he's going to be like when he's later.
What are you talking?
Like,
He's
I
a
don't know
software developer, bro. That guy's a tech entrepreneur.
He'll be good, but Landon is definitely a go getter and on his own, Earl. When it comes to that, he does all that. He's worked on his mental as well. He's all in on it right now. He's all into. So I grew up Mormon, and I know some of you did too here. Brett,
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah, so I grew up Mormon, so that was the Christian religion I grew up believing, right? So picture that. Then when I'm 34-ish, I said no more for me and Christy at the same time. And then from there, though, that was when Landon was like 4 years old when that happened. And so what I was like, I don't want him for me. I'm just speaking to me, guys. I don't want to. This could be a sensitive topic, is what I'm saying, for parenting and stuff. But overall, it's like I want him to figure it out. Like I'm here. Like you want to read scriptures together? Let's do it. You want to read the Bible or the Book of Mormon or any other thing? Let's do it. And so lately he's 15 and you guys know how this is. It's like you're developing something new. Something starts itching inside of you where you want to like figure it out yourself. Like my parents have been telling me this, but I want to establish it myself. And he's just in that mode right now. I'll go into his room. He's a night owl like me. I went into his room several times now and it's like 1 a.m. and I'll open the door because I'm up late all the time. I'll open the door and he's in there reading his damn scriptures. And so I'm like, awesome, what the hell? It's just kind of weird. So I'm just like, I'm excited to see the boy. Homeschool. When I put him in homeschool, they became more like this. So there's a pitch towards homeschool, independent thinking and critical thinking. They just get to the point where they'll figure it out. They get to the point where like I got to figure this out. I want my own life. So it's pretty cool.
I really love that, Brad.
Yeah. So it's been good, man. It's to watch the boys grow up. Chase, you guys seen any of Chase's reels lately for any reason? You probably don't. I see him all the time. If you go look up Chase Attaway on there,
he's had some dude. On EVTRMX, right?
He's consistent.
American.
He's posted all kinds of reels. He's creating a group for like teenage entrepreneurs and teaching them how to start up a business and
no way
doing
Facebook
all that. Yeah.
No,
all over social media. So
he needs to team up with Eric Richardson's son, bro.
Yeah, he's documenting it and just like showing, okay, this is what I did today. I set this up. My oldest son.
Chase.
19. Yeah. Chase.
Well,
so he's documenting that
for him, bro.
Yeah. So he's excited.
He's trying to help people and make money at the same time. What a cunning little amazing entrepreneur.
What's up, Jake?
Hey,
Jake's here, bro. The best.
On the home. You guys are all the best. I see
bro,
Jeff Green.
Don't just lie, Jake, dude. You brought us all together, man. I really.
Okay.
No one could ever reward what you've done in solar.
Okay. Calm him down. Thank you, Trey. Just kidding. Thank you, Herschel.
Nah, I mean it, Mero. I really appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Love you, Brent. When you're homeschooling, what's the consequence if they don't do their homework? Like, what's the drive to keep them going and stuff?
There isn't one. The consequence is they feel like a fool.
Why are you laughing,
like,
Herschel? Please crack me
There-
up.
I don't, you know me. I'd love to have some kids. I'm waiting on them, but it's just funny to listen to y'all that got them. You know, it's just, I love it.
Yeah. Because B's going to be there. Brighton's going to be there soon, where it's going to be, he's just like, Dad, I got this on my own type thing. He's going to start doing the same thing. But like I mean, you got several years, I guess, because it's that teenage time is when they get, but the consequences for it's a natural, you feel lazy. So like he sleeps in till 11. He's up late and sleeps in. And then he has like 3 hours of get stuff done. He gets on his laptop and just finishes classes. If he doesn't and he starts skipping it, he'll come to me. He's just like, okay, I'm not doing good at this, or he'll come to Christy. And so it's more like, we're just like, hey, just get in, do your homework. Did you get it done? And if they don't, I'm just like, well, like, do you want to be dumb or do you want to be smart? Like, which that's the consequence. So like, but Jake, it's not that bold, but it's close.
Right. But I mean, like, that's all you're saying is like, hey, you should do homework because I've given it to you. And they're like, I don't want to. And you're like, but okay, have you done it today though? And they're like, no, I don't want it. And they're like, okay, but have you done it today? Is that all you're doing?
That's kind of it. It's coaching. It's coaching. You're a parent as a coach. If anything, you're just like, all right, let's stay on top. And you got to make it your own idea. So if you're sitting down, like if I'm sitting down with Landon, there's been several discussions, especially early on, you establish it and then they get the pattern. So it's more like this. Okay, cool. So what are your goals? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing? You start with goals. Just like, oh, I don't know. What do you mean goals? And then you just reverse engineer backwards from that. So you guys know that game in business and health and all that. But essentially, it's just like, what are we going to do? You want to do homeschool? We want you to do homeschool. But what are you going to accomplish? Well, I want to do this. And so his thing revolves around baseball. So everything is incentive around baseball. So it's like, cool. We don't hang anything over his head or take anything away necessarily. I'm happy to take stuff away if he's going to be a complete just dick, you know? But he hasn't gotten to there yet. So like, and so the point is he's going off of his goals, and then it just motivates him to finish things because see, he can't get into a D1, and that's one of his goals without getting some kind of good grades, even homeschool.
There we go. Okay.
So he's just like, I got to get it done. That's it. It's just attached to his goals. So he's 15. He's almost 16 in January. Yeah.
That's really cool. It's attached to his goals. That's really cool.
Because you can't suspend him, right? What are you going to do?
Well, I guess you can. You can punish him all day, but it like doesn't. You know, I'm like, if you look at a dog, right? Like you punish the dog, it doesn't really work. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a good book called "Don't Kill the Dog." There's a good book called "Don't Kill the Dog," and basically it's about that.
I think it's super cool. You homeschool your kids, honestly, Brent. I would love to. I would love to. Honestly, get rid of public school altogether. I mean, I think it's like at least like what's being taught, you know what I mean? Like there's no real like options. I think it's super cool that you get to pick what your kid's learning, and then like he's taking off with baseball and like or whatever else you're like trying to do. It's like, you know, I don't remember anything from school after like age 8 or 9 that like I couldn't have learned on my phone. You know, I wish I would have been working more on my business, which I did have a dad that was an entrepreneur, and he did take me to work. And I feel like that was a huge, you know, advantage that I had. You know, I built my first McDonald's at 17. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that was like a cool thing to me, is like to build the McDonald's and then sit back and be like, there's people going in there now. And I live here, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
But don't hate on schools too much. We need a good education system.
Who is it? Who's the school hater? What is it?
No. I'm saying don't hate on schools too much, right? Like it's important to be a self
depends on the school, right? Like I like Brent's school. I'd go to Brent Attaway's school.
I see Ziggy Stardust. Is that who's talking right now? Okay.
Yeah, it's Steve.
Oh, Steve. I was like, who the hell is Ziggy Stardust? I was like, what is happening right now? What's up, Steve? Reynolds.
What's happening? Yeah, what's going on? I always rebelled against school, but I think it's also important, like your internal learning has to be internal. A lot of the common like schools were basically made to make more docile and obedient factory workers.
Agreed.
But don't separate that from classical like liberal arts education. And there's a lot of things that like I think going to like critical thinking and how to think about thinking and research that you can't necessarily learn on your own. So I think it is good to go.
Yeah, no,
In
the
general,
education, it's about the platform you choose to be educated on and what matches your style, I think. And then it's just I'm just not a big supporter of here's our system and you got to fit in it. That's what I'm not a supporter of anymore. I got a lot of loud noise. Hold on a
Brent, do
second.
you guys use
I think that's Earl.
Florida Virtual?
Earl, when you unmute, it's really loud, just so you know. Go ahead.
I was asking, do you use Florida Virtual?
Yes, we have. He's on a different one. Christy would know this one because that's her part of it. I take him through my e-school is what I call it, just like business school, entrepreneur school.
That's so
So
sick. I love that.
that's Jake.
I did FLVS.
Jake bounced off. There he is. Okay. So Chase is trying to join, but we're at our max. No one needs to jump off. But Chase, sorry, man. This is for adults
let him
only.
in. I gotta go, bro. Anyway, just
I
let him
can
in.
jump off too.
No, you don't. You guys need Joe. Say anything else before you jump off.
No, bro. Let's go. Let's see. Oh, Services Summit. I'm going to be emceeing there in Austin, Texas on the 19th.
Yeah.
In Austin,
See you there,
Texas.
Joe.
The Services Summit, baby. So be there if you make
That's
it.
next. Is that this
Free
week
tickets
from-
until tomorrow, I believe. So
Anybody
get on
that's
it.
on here.
This is next week in Austin, guys. Real quick, that's next week in Austin. So
servicessummit.com. Get the free tickets until I think tomorrow, the next day. That's it. So
Discount code is what Joe is at 100%. Like
Jake is going to be there speaking. Josh King, Earl Kupule, right? He's going to be speaking. So you guys want to go? It's going to be off the hook.
Earl speaking?
Yeah, man. He's amazing on stage.
By the way, is Earl wearing glasses right now? Did I see that?
I'll let Chase in. Peace.
Driving glasses.
Later, Joe. Good to see you, brother.
See you, Joe.
We'll let Chase in and say hi. We're just bragging about, but now we gotta make sure we weren't. Don't let him know we were talking good about him.
I didn't say nothing.
That's the guy you were talking shit about, right? Chase Attaway?
Yeah, this kid.
That's Chase. This is
kid
Ninja,
right here.
by the way. The weird
What's
color
up,
hair
Chase?
dude. We've hung out.
Chase has actually met several of you. I know he's met Jake. He's met Herschel. He's met Earl for sure.
Chase and I definitely hung out, but I can't get the camera to show my face. So
yeah, so Chase used to run a lot. He started with he was my intern for CRMX. He went from intern, and before this, he's been doing other stuff for himself, making money in photography and so on, and he still does that. But he was running that, and so he got. Can you imagine? This is the point of view. I want you guys to imagine. This is actually hilarious. So it's a good topic. The John, I think you would appreciate this being in the software and tech side of the back end of stuff because I know you do a lot of that and running ads and all that, and it takes a lot of just critical, systemized thinking. Like, okay, if this, then that, and then anyways. So imagine being 16, almost 17 is when you started, right, on CRMX. And he's learning. He's learning. He's now 19, but he's learning this. And I put him into the support, so he's starting to learn support. And people are coming in, and some of them are cool people, and there's a few just complete jackasses, right? And I don't mean they're jackasses always. They're just jackasses on the support, right? And so like Chase is dealing with people who are just like, where he's like, okay, let me fix that. And it's like, when you're frustrated with software or you just can't figure it out, so you would rather blame whoever's helping you. And so Chase is in that spot and trying to figure out, okay, and he would come in after and he'd be like, Dad, I don't even know if I can do this anymore. Like, there's this idiot. And it just repeats me in the background. And when I say idiot, you got to understand, he likes people, but he's like, how is somebody this mean when I'm just trying to help them? And I was just like, dude, this is a great lesson for you. Just here's what you do. And then it's kind of like the feel, felt, found. So it's not just in sales, right? It's in support. It's like, okay, I understand how you feel. So here's what we found, what works best. Try it this way. And he's just trying to figure out this pattern of like, how do you take somebody from frustrated to, oh, thank you for the solution, goodbye. That's all they wanted was the solution, right? Like the result. And so it's funny to watch him because he went from frustrated to finally he's like in control of like, okay, now I know how to just dismantle the frustration with business owners. Because these are business owners like you guys, like coming in and be like, I got to build my team. I can't figure this out. How do I add a user? And it's like, did you watch the video? No. No, I didn't watch a video. Why don't you just tell me what to do? In fact, I want you to do it all for me for $300 a month. I just want you to set all this shit up for me. Why aren't you just doing it for me? You know, like you're just like, oh man. And so Chase is like, how am I supposed to tell him just no? I'm not gonna, like, we don't do that. I was like, yeah. And then so we'd go through that, right? Like, here's how it works. And then so he'd end up upselling on accident, like just by resolving their concern. They're like, oh, cool. So can we hire you? Yeah, that'll be $1,500. He's like, okay. So like he's processing stuff. So it was kind of cool. That's where he started in the CRM world of things, where he's just learning customer support, but then quickly learned. Anyways, that's to give you a background on his baptism by fire in business world and dealing with business owners. Because that was really your first time dealing with business owners, right? More?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Chase?
I've worked with like maybe a few that were more like family friends, so not the same. But
yeah, it was funny.
Oh,
what are you up to, dude?
Let me work with you, dude. I'll give you a run for your money. I will make you work for it.
Jake's actually pretty calm. Him and I have gotten into it, not for those reasons. We've gotten into it where I'm like, dude, no. And he's like, oh, dude, I didn't mean it that way. I was like, fuck you. And so we're like,
yeah.
I mean, it didn't go exactly that way, but almost. And then like go ahead.
When Brett gets mad, that's just when you're like, what did I do wrong? Oh my goodness. I need to correct immediately. Like I was going this way and now I'm going
But we got Earl with the perfect defense over here.
Can I ask a question to the celebrity on the phone, Chase Attaway over here?
Sure.
Yes.
Hey, real quick question. Okay, Chase. So unbiased, because I know you personally, because of your dad, and I know that you've only dealt with solar business owners and never sold solar yourself. So I'd love to hear your perspective on what do you think is holding most of your clients that you deal with back. That would be awesome to me, especially from an unbiased opinion as someone who's not doing it themselves, so they don't have an ego about it. I would love to hear what you think is holding most of your clients back.
There's two types of people, I'd say. There's the ones that want to learn it but don't have the patience to, or the ones that realize that they shouldn't be the ones doing it.
Right.
Meaning they
ones that don't want to learn. Repeat it again, because it sounded like a bomb right there. Okay, ones that don't want to learn, and then what?
The ones that don't want to learn, and then they kind of want other people to do it for them, and then they just need it. And then there's the people that are trying to figure it out themselves, but they really should be having someone else do it. Meaning they're holding themselves back by thinking they need to figure it out when they just need to realize they're not that type of person. Like, have you ever done something where you're like, I really want to figure this out, but you just suck at it? And you just know you should be working on something else and you know you could hire it out? Do that instead. Because I've worked with people for hours and hours and hours, and I'll have the same questions by them asked over and over. And I'm not going to be like, I already told you this, but I'm like, I'll explain it again. But I just feel like they feel like I'm like, they'll work on things that they're just not good at instead of hiring someone that's already good at it.
What do you think the biggest solution would be especially with the solutions that you already provide for those people? Because I know that's a lot of the problems that you solve. Say like I showed up to you, I'm paying you way too little money for the amount of problems I want solved, right? And I'm open to advice though on it because time is my biggest problem right now, and I want to get this stuff fixed quick. What would you recommend doing?
Find someone who, here's the thing. I'm actually kind of doing something similar for a guy that needs help with like high level stuff where he's just like, hey dude, like I have a question, and it's not like he's needing this full-time person, but he just needs someone that needs help. Find someone who knows it really well, and it might not be their number one thing, but they just know it really, really well. And they're willing to work with you on that kind of stuff. Whether it's like they come on with you as like a full-time, part-time person, or they just help you like with little one-off projects, and then just utilize support. So
you're saying a lack of staff. They need the proper staff. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Yeah. There's a lot of people that will layman's terms. A lot of people that'll be like, yeah, I got my lady that's on this. And then it's just like, no,
she doesn't do anything.
They'll put the wrong people on the task instead of putting the right.
That's a big one. Putting the wrong person.
That loop of blaming a person that never really knew what their task was to begin with. Because I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
It's like you're saying like, oh, Tina was supposed to do this, but it's like, dude, you never really gave Tina instructions. You just told her to go do something. She doesn't even know what you're supposed to do. You don't even know what she's supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's the one thing that I would say is most people also lack detail just after seeing like what people will be like, yeah, I need to do this thing. Like, for example, support. And I'm like, okay, usually my main question is, what's your end goal? Because then there might be a different way to do it. And then, so they, instead of thinking, they think this is the one way I should do it instead of thinking, what are the other ways that I could do it? So usually they are either trying to do something the wrong way when there's an easier way, or they usually try to do things the most difficult way.
So like they're asking you for advice, and then the advice you give them, they want to tell you why it wouldn't work for them, even though you know it would work for them. Is that right?
Sometimes, but not all the time.
I mean,
usually I'll be like, they'll be like, hey, I'm trying to do this. I'll be like, oh, okay, what are you doing that for? Like, oh, so I'm trying to do this. I'll be like, actually, there's a better way to do that. Try this. They're like, oh, got it. So
the light bulb turns on.
They'll say, here's the problem.
How do you get them to have that realization? Because a lot of people don't want to admit that they're wrong or change direction. What do you do to like overcome that so that they don't feel like you're attacking?
I'll usually just show it to them working.
You put them in the face
or show someone else
account that's working on that.
Yeah, what's that?
That makes sense.
I should just hit them in the face with a fillet of fish.
Yeah. Take them down.
Yeah, dude, there's how many times did you have to take a breather after some of the support, Chase, where you're just like, dude, I need a break.
Sometimes I
just need to go like.
I don't know if you guys have ever hopped off of a call and flipped off your screen as soon as it ended. There's a few of those. Like just straight. I hang up. I just double my middle finger to the screen. It was
right. These are solar owners, all of them.
Mostly, yeah.
Most of them.
No one's. Yeah. Just to be clear, no one's that way naturally. Like you could get on with most of these solar owners, and they're amazing people. But when you ask them, when they're frustrated about the software they're trying to figure out, and they don't, in their brain, they've been able to figure out everything until now. It's just like a punch to the gut, and they're just like, oh. And so the only thing they have is to blame because everything else is working. And so, like,
next time you guys get one of those guys.
To Chase's point, there's too many people who are holding themselves in the wrong position. Like you talk to some people who are owners or managers in a company with a stake in it, and you say, well, why are you doing this role? Well, because it needs doing. Yeah, given. But are you naturally amazing at that role? Do you even enjoy it?
Right.
If both of those are a no, then you should probably hire a person for that role.
Right.
And go do what your aptitude says you should do, particularly if you happen to also kind of enjoy that.
Here's the dilemma in that, which is true, by the way, Jeff, is these many people who are switching CRMs or looking, they're in startup mode. So budget is slim. They're trying to figure it out because they can't hire it out necessarily. Or in their brains, they're thinking, well, I can't hire a full-time person, so I'm going to try to get you to do it for me while I'm on the support call. And so they're just
that's the biggest thing. That was one of the biggest things I had to learn to do was have to learn how, like, meaning especially when they would see me on the call, they'd be like, oh, there's just like a young kid, like I'll just and like actually, I don't know if I told you, I used to do solar cells. I did it with Bennett Maxwell.
Did you? Oh, you with your brother or with your uncle?
That guy that has that cookie shop.
He went and knocked doors and set appointments when he was 14 in Sacramento.
With y'all's story, so that's
I love that. That's what got me started.
Chase, I got a question for you, dude. I got a question for you. If you're getting, are you smarter than what these people are coming at you with? Like, are you able to talk at a higher caliber level than the clients that you've been getting?
I mean, it just. What do you mean? Like, am I able to like sell like these people?
It sounds to me like you have the demeanor.
Say yes. Say yes. I think the answer is yes.
Actually,
no. I genuinely want to know like your confidence level. Like,
okay.
Can you talk to
a dev team? I have a story for you, and this is very recent.
Can you talk to a dev team?
What's that?
Can you talk to a dev team?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like,
why are you smart as hell, in my opinion?
Why are you messing around? Why are you messing around with the little guys then? Like, it sounds to me like it's and correct me if I'm wrong here, but it sounds to me like you're kind of inviting that by staying in that world. If you're
getting them great leads, okay? Don't you question our leads. We got the best leads in the world, okay? Don't you dare. Just kidding.
If you're able to perform at a higher level than the clients that you're bringing in, if you're able to perform at that, why aren't you getting the clients at that higher level?
So I actually started doing something else as well. I just barely. So I started doing social media stuff.
Here, Chase, real quick, to that question at a different angle.
Put him to work.
He stopped doing that. He stopped doing support because that just wasn't his strength. So I hired that out differently, right? I got different support. And then he started working towards more marketing and sales because he liked that and he was good at it. He understands it. And then he started working towards how to put it all together. And now he's consulted and helped people set up their whole platform and done the development side as well, just to be clear.
Yeah. The support was just the beginning. Then I got to the point where it was like funnel building, automations, campaigns, helping other people.
You were mainly doing you were actually doing the ads and the marketing. You were like super involved in actually getting client acquisition.
In the beginning, his old man put him to work for free. He had a sweatshop going over there out there in Utah.
Steve's worked with Chase. Steve could probably.
Usually you got to pay to go to school. What's college? $100,000?
Yeah. That's what I preferred the experience. I'm extremely grateful for it. Like, I'm one of those people where I'm like, I get it if you want to go to college for specific things, but it's just not my thing.
My dad started taking me to work when I was 11, dude. I'm super happy that Brent did that for you. I'm gonna turn on.
Yeah,
my dad.
I have friends of friends that'll be like, yeah, I want to like get into business. I'm like, oh, awesome. What are you doing? They're like, I'm going to business college. I was like, no. I mean, like, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm like, so what do you want to do? They're like, I have no idea, but I know I want to go into business. I was like,
Brad Lee said, I didn't have any, I dropped out of school or whatever. He said, he's like, but now I got 3 PhDs, 6 master degrees, 2 bachelors. Like, how'd you get all those degrees? Well, I hired them.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah, and I'm not saying college is all bad. But it just really depends on your skill set and what you want. That's the one thing.
You're my hero, bro. I love what you're doing, man. Honestly.
What I would say is this: just because you have an idea that you want to do something, you usually, all of us have experienced this. You're doing it out of pride and not pride like I'm better. It's like, well, I just want to say I'm doing something and then go major in something. I want to like go major in something. It's like they've missed the mark on thinking major means nothing. It literally means no. It doesn't mean employment. It doesn't mean anything. It just means you learned something. So there are several ways to go about learning something. There's faster ways.
Doesn't teach at any universities. There's no university you can go learn from Brent Attaway. But in my opinion, he would be a business owner worth learning from. Like you know what I mean? Or it'd be example. Jake, are you teaching anywhere yet? I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. But if you want to, get Jake, you actually have to go, apply for the program. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, at least in my opinion, I know Jake taught me more than any teacher that I was in school with. I really appreciate you guys.
Oh, dude.
My son was the best, man. I was so happy whenever you pulled up here. I was like, bald eagle. And then I saw it was you. Is there anything you want to tell us about what's going on in solar? Sorry, Jeff. I didn't mean to.
Sorry.
Son's 21.
My son's 21. Now, he does not have CRM architecture background. So I told him, go get a degree. Now, I also told him that degree may not mean anything. It may not open a door for you, but not having one may close a door.
Yeah.
So, and I told him, I said, now, if you want to go to a trade school, you want to go to a tech school, you want to learn a specific thing, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
But you need to have a fallback. So, but I was very clear with him that in today's world, that degree may be worth it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I get frustrated, especially with young people like my age, is they'll think a degree means that it guarantees them an opportunity. I'm like, it doesn't. I'm like,
it doesn't guarantee it.
Yeah, like there's no because
maybe that's how it used to be.
Huh?
I said it really doesn't help unless they started.
That's not true.
Unless they started a college course. No, you might be right. I'm just saying, unless they started a course called.
There are many companies that you could be working. There are many companies somebody could end up working for where having a degree will separate them from the hourly staff, from the managerial staff.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
So
yeah,
having,
I guess that's
it doesn't
the
even
main
matter what
thing.
the degree is in. You just happen to have a bachelor's. You can advance more than someone else in certain corporations.
My brother had
my point to my son was that
agricultural economics and got hired at Facebook.
There you go. Yep. Exactly. So I told my son, it's like, you just don't know what door you might close by not having one. Again, now, Chase, you know how to architect a CRM. If my son knew how to do that, I wouldn't be worried.
It wouldn't take 4 years to learn them. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I mean.
Taking 4 years to
But he
learn
has zero interest in it, and that's
How
like whole IT world. He has no interest in. If he did,
yeah, but who has
I would
interest
be
in like going to college?
solid.
It's like one of those things where like I'm super into like how Brent was talking about, like he homeschooled and everything else. Is like schools aren't teaching you how to make any money, and then you get out of school and you're really, I mean, like my opinion, you know, I grew up middle class and with like other people doing that.
You grew up middle class, so that answers everything.
Yeah, can you believe it? And so I went to college for one semester. I made straight A's, and I mean, it never really helped me. I do believe that a lot of people spend 6 years learning a skill that they're going to get tired of in 6 months. So I feel like if you're going to get tired of it anyway, I feel like so many people are, which you're right, Jeff, 100%. I remember meeting you, like it can open doors and stuff. I just mean like, the people that helped me the most were the people closest to me and the people that I met. I made a post on in a group called Door to Door Tribe saying, hey, who has the best solar presentation 4 years ago? And a guy named Jake Hess commented on it. And I'd only sold one solar deal at the time. And now it's quite a bunch more installations. If you watch my Facebook page, I'm usually on top of their roofs a lot. And I wouldn't have found that in college. Someone would have talked to me. And like,
can you guys hear me?
But both things can be true at once, like everything in life. There's a lot of nuance to it.
Right, no, 100%. And which it can go either way, and it doesn't really matter. No,
you know,
there's no right
most
path,
education
right?
is self-directed, but don't write out a higher education necessarily.
No, yeah. Here's a heightened way of thinking about it. What, like Jim Rohn said, I just watched another reel on this and shared it just yesterday or something like that. He just said, look, you can't educate when you want to inspire somebody or motivate somebody. You don't start with inspiration or motivation. You start with education. Because if you inspire somebody, all you get is inspired or motivated idiot. If they're already an idiot, they're not educated, right?
You mean voters?
Influencer.
Yeah.
It's called an influencer.
Yeah, you gotta, yeah. And so the education is by far the first thing you got to do. But here's the issue, or here's the thing. When you go to educate yourself as a teenager, or most of them teenager, I'm talking about, like I'm talking out of high school, 18, 17, 18, 19, that education that's in front of them, they're still not, our family environment and cultural environment is going to tell them college naturally is the path, the natural path, not the best path, the natural path. Okay,
Exactly.
so what do you think they're going to think? Of course, that's what they so in a lazy brain, which we all are lazy at that point, we're just going to take the shortcut of thinking. We're not going to say, wait, here's what should happen. Now, before you go sign up and spend my money, son, on your college, because you're not fucking investing in it. I know you. And I don't even care if you go get a loan. There's somebody's money that you're using and acting like it's yours. So don't be a douche. Is the first thing. Second thing is this. Why are you going for that? And you start with the goal. You have to start with that. You got wait, are you really going to be a orthodontist? Yeah, it's my passion. Or are you going to do it like me, where I told Christy I was going to be an orthodontist because her family was an educated family and that would impress her parents? That was me. I was just trying to impress her goddamn parents so I could marry the girl and have sex. That was it. So
well, that part worked.
Doctor.
So the point is this. I thought it was cool, by the way. I was sincerely in my brain, not passion, but just sincerely. This is where I truly believe most people are, the majority of when you go to college. You're going to get an education on what you don't like. That's the biggest education you're going to get. You're going to get an education on what not to do. And that is highly valuable. So if you're going to go to college, prepare to be educated on things you hate, on things, not everything, by the way, but the majority that you're required to take is things you're not going to enjoy. So now you got to ask yourself, instead of that right now, is there a way for the next 3 years for me to go educate in the field? to go and then do some part-time school on some things I can specialize and do. And then if you find yourself being, man, actually am going to be an orthodontist. Like, I think that's my direction. Get in school, dive deep, learn it front and back, be the best at it, go learn from the best professors in the world doing all that. And I don't mean just doctors. It could be anything. It could be, I'm going to be it. In other words, I'm not just saying, hey, you only go to college if you're going to be a doctor. You hear that a lot too. And that has some premise to it, but like it's other things too. It's not like you have to go to a trade school. You can go to college and learn it. It's just a long, expensive way. So as soon as somebody's educated on that part, it's easy to make a choice to say, oh, I could go practice with Jeff on this, learn finance, learn this, work with him, figure it out. And then guess what? My job placement with Jeff and everyone he knows is so much easier anyways at that point. Way faster, way faster. So it kind of takes the job placement argument out of the way if you do that, because I'll get placed so much faster with Jeff's network than going and hoping that I work with the administrative staff and go meet. What are they called in college? I went to college, by the way, so like I forgot what it's called. Your advisor, that kind of helps direct you. Your counselor could give. I mean, they're nice, they're sincere people.
They usually suck.
But they're not going to get you the damn job. But you're told to go talk to them to get your resume out there when you're about to graduate or when you need an internship. Guys, like, it's so much better to teach. I think like, if you're going to go to college and do that, like, go run hard for 3 years in something that's going to make you money and show you. And that's why sales, we're all biased here because like we're talking in a silo right now. We're talking in a silo with that. But at the same time, I could argue all day, even if we weren't in that silo, you're going to learn faster, cheaper, better by going out into the marketplace and offering your service for free. Like, just say, let me help you.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. So
That's
anyways,
how I got into photography. Because I believe even if after you get out of college, I mean, like, for example, I went to hair school for like 2 years, and as soon as I got out of hair school, I sucked. And I had to train under someone good for another year before I knew how to do. And that was 3 years to learn how to cut hair. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine if I was doing something more complicated. Like, I mean, while I do agree that college, especially 30, 40 years ago would be super amazing. And while it probably does mean something now, from somebody who's personally received thousands of applications from Indeed in the last couple of years, I don't even read what's on them. Honestly, I call the people, and if they sound like they're going to, here's what the only thing I look for. Did they show up early for their interview? After I interviewed them and they got the job, did they show up early for their first day? Did they complain about the training and were they immediately asking questions that would promote that somebody that wants to work for 5 or 10 years and never make any money? And in our field, that wouldn't be somebody worth having. You know what I mean? So what I've noticed is most of the people that showed up with college degrees had some sort of belief that it should be easier for them and that they don't have to do as much work because they are more qualified for the position. And I don't know if you've heard of Art Williams, one of the biggest insurance sales guys, had a great speech that said, called Just Do It. And he's like, what do the winners do? They do it, and they do it, and they do it until the job gets done. Then they go home and talk about how great it is to be somebody they're proud of and how happy they are that they didn't quit like everybody else and how great it is to finally make a difference with their life. And that's one of my favorite sayings. And it was a real good point because in that entire speech, he goes over how he would meet people that are extremely educated that spoke with such pretty words and did so well. And he thought, I could never do that. Art, why don't you go ahead and quit and go back and coach football? He's like, and I felt like it was almost impossible for an intelligent person to become good in business because I believe that intelligent people spend so much time trying to figure out a better, a cheaper, and an easier way. And the other thing about smart people is I never find they get around to doing nothing. He's like, they always want to find a better way and they don't do it. He's like, but the winners do it, and they do it until the job gets done. And that's like,
in other words, everything you just said.
Something pretty cool there, man. And come from being recruiting as well. When you go through resumes, are you looking at the college degree at all? You're not.
I don't even read what they did for work. Okay, I'll scroll it to
read
see
a
if they
little bit of the
solar
resume,
before.
and
That's it.
See if I can ask the person. Like, is that
I
what you do?
To them. I want to talk to them. Are they real? Because let's be real. My best, one of my favorite employee I have right now. Her name's Frankie. I got her from Chili's. She worked at the Chili's I ate at for a year and a half. And
Bro, I
finally
have 2 Uber drivers working with
got me
me.
2 deals in 2 weeks. I don't know what the total profit is, but it's way more than her salary, and she's making way more than her salary was. You know what I mean? And it's
absolutely,
a super great exchange. And she's not like, it's not that she's super special. It's that she wants the job and the opportunity. And that's just so much different.
Everything we're talking about has nothing to do with formal education.
Apparently afraid to
No,
get
absolutely.
Drive.
right now, but
You gotta have. If you've got hustle, you don't need it.
Yeah. Well, if you have the right attitude, let's get rid of hustle for a second, just for a second, Jeff, because I agree with that. But I'm saying you have to have the attitude of critical thinking.
There's a difference between attitude and hustle.
Right.
So like my son has a phenomenal presence with people. Like he's very good speaking with people. But he doesn't have hustle that it would take to go get $250,000 in sales on the roof. He doesn't have that kind of drive. He has a different kind of like
your son, you're saying.
Well, let's talk about drive when the attitude of showing up early, like Trey was mentioning a few things.
That's
showing up early. See what I mean? Like those types of things are what matter most at first. Now, education will beat hustle in the long run, I believe, all day long, because you're going to find a smarter way to do it. So like
what are you
you're
learning,
going to
learning from?
Right. I'm not saying you have to start with the educate or you don't start the smart way.
Is that none of the people working at college make $250,000 a year. So who am I learning from? That's my biggest issue. If there was everybody there was just a part-time teacher that made a mil a year, you know, they were a 7-figure earner, and then they were teaching all the students. I would go to college, like me myself right now. I'd be like,
there are a few, by the way. Some of my professors were actually badasses, but that's very rare. That's very rare.
Very rare.
Yeah, you guys know Jordan Peterson. I'm not on the Jordan Peterson boat 100%, but I do like he just started that because he was a professor and he just started a brand new school because of that reason. He's like, it's gone away from actually trying to educate. Even the Ivy League schools in the early days, they were just phenomenal. They would not let anything skimp. You had to be the best of the best. Attitude, hustle, everything. And now it's just become a different animal. So he's stepped away from it. But that's just the nature of the beast of when things grow and expand and become muddied. You have to have a kind of that great reset of things that's happening. I just watched a podcast with him and Rogan on that, and he was talking about how this is just the most recent one. And I was like, oh, that's such a good point. That's a good angle to come from, because I don't know that world. I can't speak.
Right.
I can't. I wish I could claim and have a fun attitude and cause controversy. What was that?
Did you go to college at all?
Yeah, I went to 5 colleges. I went to
opinion to come from somebody that went to 5 colleges.
Yeah, I went to Snow College, played football. That's the only reason I went. Played football in Snow College in Utah. I went there for a semester, so it's football semester only, right? Went for the fall. Then I came back. I was out of high school, and then 19 I went on a mission, because I grew up Mormon, so I went on a mission. And so, but before that, I needed to save some more money because you got to pay for the mission. So I saved some money. I went to, at the time it's called UVSC. Now it's UVU, University of Utah. Not University, excuse me, Utah Valley University. And because my mom, like where we lived, was right behind that school. So I was like, okay, cool. I won't spend money on, living away and paying for my stuff. So I lived at home for that second semester before I went on my mission. That was my second college. So went there, got some more of my prereqs out of the way, right? Just the fundamental classes and that you're required to take. Another problem I have with college. And then from there, I went on a mission, went 2 years, came back, got married. Like 2 months I was married, like that, because Christy and I were dating before that too. So got married. We lived up in Salt Lake, so I went to Salt Lake Community College, finished my 2-year degree there. I actually loved majority of my classes there, because I chose them. I literally said, this is what I took screen printing and like graphic design classes and and I had some basic ones, but one of my favorite ones was, which I thought I was going to hate, was public speaking. And like, it was so embarrassing to get up in front of a classroom and try to do that crap. That's hard. So it was good. There's great education and all of that. Got my associate. So there's my third. Then when you're done at a junior college, you're done with a 2-year degree. So I transferred to U of U, University of Utah. There's my 4th college, because we still lived up in Salt Lake area. And then we bought our first house down in Utah County. So I
transferred to BYU. So like I went to 5 freaking colleges, didn't finish in the middle of I got accepted to graphic. I thought I was going to be a graphic designer. And I'm at the time, I kid you not, I'm Googling. I'm like, okay, so how much money can I make as a graphic designer if I'm the best? $82,000.
Damn.
And that was encouraging to me, by the way, at the time. That wasn't bad. 82 grand. I'm a newlywed. I'm making maybe 40 grand maximum working as a painter while going to school, like I was painting houses.
That's
so I'm doing that. And I go through all of this and I'm thinking, man, okay. And that at the time I get a job at a sign company, like a Signs by Tomorrow. It's a franchise. And I'm working there, and the guy's Bruce Simon owns it. He bought it from a previous owner, the franchise. Both of these guys, Korth and Bruce, were guys who grew up in college, or went to college, got their corporate jobs, worked until they're about 55 to 60 and said, man, I'm sick of this. I'm going to be an entrepreneur and I'm going to go buy a sign company, a franchise. Well, they did it. They sucked balls at it because they've learned the wrong way. They were educated in a system that did not teach them business. They didn't understand. They just thought, like everyone else that comes out of that type of a system. And by the way, these are not Bruce Simon is a great person. He's fully
Are
capable
you
of it.
saying
He was
Shine
just
Man? Because
Simon. Sorry, Simon. I'll just call it. I'll just call it. No. Anyways, you guys get where I'm going with this. These two guys had the company, one for 2 years, couldn't get it past 200 grand for 2 years in sales revenue, which is a very small sign company, by the way. Then the second one, listen to this part. The second one, Bruce buys it from him. Doesn't take it any bigger. I think he got it from, he bought it at the peak of, Korth is the guy's name, the first owner, at 198,000. Bruce got it to 205. Good job, Bruce. $7,000 more that year. Woohoo! Or annual, and he had it for 2 years. I'm working there for a year, almost a year, and I buy it from him. I go get a loan, an SBA loan, and say, I'll buy it from you. I want to do this. This is awesome. I'm going to graphic design. I want a business. I'm going to finish my degree. And right as I went in, I was going full-time school and just bought a business. And I was burning out, dude. I was like, I'm going to class while trying to run a business and employing other people in college. And so they're all running it. And it was cool. I was learning how to leverage, I didn't have to be there. I could go to class, but I was still struggling. And so, but at the same time, within 3 years, the first 2 years, we doubled the business. I'm 24 to 26 year old in that time. We doubled the business. How does me not knowing any education formal, yes, hustle, but really in the end, it wasn't necessarily hustle. It was, what do I want? How am I going to get there? And I'm willing to figure out how to sacrifice and am I going to sacrifice enough to get there? That's it. It wasn't like I didn't deserve shit. I didn't believe I deserved anything. I was going to fail. And by the end, I did fail, by the way. We went through bankruptcy. We grew that company into the ground. So got to 500 grand in sales. So over doubled that business. And then 2008 hit. And then I was just overextended I was expanding at the wrong time. Bad. And so there was my next business lesson. Know the weather you're in. So at a marketplace, don't expand when you should be cutting back. Yeah. And so learned that lesson. Couldn't climb out of the hole. Tried for a year and a half to climb out of the hole before filing bankruptcy. And I was like, I can't, everything's on the line at this point. I gotta stop. So that was it. Learned the lessons. But the point is this. I went to 5 different colleges, got a 2-year degree, almost got my bachelor's, got accepted to that graphic design program in freaking BYU that they accept 15 people out of 300. And so meaning you have to go for 2 years just to figure out if you're going to get accepted. Wow. I get accepted and then I drop out and then started into business. And so yes, I am speaking from a very biased viewpoint, but at the same time, I've been through both. And for me, business worked better. That was it. Does it work for everyone? Hell no. No, you should definitely go to get a degree, go through the corporate job, kick ass with it and have fun with it. Because probably you're going to do better. But that was just, it was an interesting experience to go through like that. And then realize that I'm better at starting something, creating it, and not being scared to do it. Just 100%. I'm willing to take and that's the definition of an entrepreneur. I think almost if you study the word entrepreneur, in the end, it means risk taker. Are you willing to be the one taking all the risk?
Well, more than above, what is it? More than a reasonable risk. Like you take unreasonable risks.
Right,
that's
right.
what an entrepreneur would be. Right.
Skylar's trying to join.
Takes risks, but
what's up, Skylar?
Skylar Dyer, my man, dude.
Hey, Steve, are you still here, bro?
What's up, guys?
Skyler, well, since you just showed up, I'm about to have to sign off. I'm going to hang out with my family, but I wanted to, I guess since Skyler showed up, I'm going to say goodbye.
I only popped in for a few minutes. My little boys are expecting me to sit and watch a movie with them, and I've been getting some solar
Then I
stuff.
will watch your words of wisdom.
I'm gonna hang
on
out with my
recording.
girl
I
here,
appreciate
so
y'all so much. I'm going to sign
we'll
off, y'all.
See ya, Herschel.
See you, Herschel.
Steve, sorry, Steve. I didn't know you jumped off, and I'm on my phone, so I don't see. It's harder for me to see.
Nice.
I didn't see in the backstage, brother.
This is Cruzy. He broke his arm the other day. Show him your calves.
Oh man, you
hope
doing
he
good
heals
now?
quickly.
He's doing
How
good.
did he break it?
He was riding his bike and fell off our driveway down into our culvert.
Ooh.
And broke his little arm. Huh. Yeah. But you doing good now?
Poor dude.
Yeah, he's good now though. So
Good, man. We're glad you're doing better.
just likes having time with dad though, huh? I only popped in for a few minutes though, guys. I gotta peace out. My little boys are.
I'm glad you said hi.
Tonight.
Thanks
Take care,
for
guys.
saying hi, Skyler. Later, bud.
Take care, Jeff.
Yeah, brother. Be good.
Who's in the dark up in that corner?
That's me, bro. It's Ninja.
Okay.
I DM'd Skyler and told him to jump on and stop commenting.
I'm glad he said hi. Yeah. Steve, you're still here?
Ground control to Major Tom. I went to the grocery store and got some stuff. I just had it on the background.
Sweet. Yeah, we can jump off. We've been on here a couple of 2.5 hours almost, but
geez.
I'm glad we're all here. Steve, what's latest in your world, dude? Before we jump off, what's the update?
Sun's shining. I'm 6 feet above the ground. The world, everything's good. I wanted to chime on. I was in the grocery store when you're talking about education and fathers and sons, and when Chase first came on, because Chase helped me and my dad do like the work through call. And I'm one of those people that's like smart at some things, but super dumb at other things. And I get so frustrated with technology. So I was probably one of the guys who were like, oh my God, this fucking guy again.
No, he remembers you well because you were always asking questions. So he likes that, frankly. So like, it's good. You are always willing to learn the thing. That's what I mean. I'm the same way as you, Steve, from what I can gather is like, I know we can hire it out, but maybe for whatever reason, I'm not ready to, or just don't want to, and I'll learn it, and I'm gonna have a shit ton of questions for about a month, maybe 2. So he actually enjoyed he worked with you, and there's several others who were just always and he learned from you guys too. So it was great. So thank you.
And what was cool on the father-son deal was on one of them, I had my dad on there because we were working on like a business-to-business cold mailing campaign. So my dad took me out when I was probably 5-6 years old on the job site doing construction, right? So we're talking about the different ways of learning and self-learning and
that's awesome.
Apprenticeship. So he had me out on the job site, like mixing cement and carrying cinder blocks.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, maybe smart and bad. So I got scholarships to all kinds of like fancy, crazy schools. So I really loved like that educational stuff, but I got kicked out of them because I was like rebellious or whatever. Anyway, now my dad's retired and chilling out. Oh, hello there. And like I've got him to work on the whole solar mafia. So he's at home for a little while, and like I've got him like emailing businesses, and so it's kind of cool to come full circle. So it's cool that you're doing a good mix of that with Chase, teach them all different kinds of things, and it's
Thanks,
cool,
man.
Yeah,
it's cool. There's a few things I would do differently just with how I go about it personally, but overall I'm so glad he was willing to do that. He's naturally that way as well. So like if somebody was listening to this in the future, it would be like, look, not everyone wants to learn like that, and that actually doesn't mean he's better at it. It's just that's his aptitude of learning. You know what I mean? Like that's just how he likes to learn. Certainly his father influences him. All of our parents or guardians or whomever was our mentor of parent, right, has influenced us to learn in a certain way. So he has that. But Landon's completely different. Steve, if you met my other son,
He's not
No, it's
completely different.
how he's the younger son that plays baseball.
Yeah. And I say completely different. He's actually but he's happy to go to college, and I'm happy to encourage him to. So like, it's not about doing one way or another for me. Although for me, like if I was going to choose it, I would not go the college route, just for me. So like, that's the difference. You see what I mean? Like, because Landon has a different path. He has a different goal. He wants to go do that, and he's going to chase that thing. And he knows that baseball, he's already very aware that baseball only lasts. Like the average pro baseball player, let's say he gets pro, like somewhere pro, semi-pro, something, right? The average baseball, do you want to know how long they play? It's less than football, which is weird because it's 2.6 years.
Oh, wow.
You spend your entire career of just trying to play, and your average pro athlete in baseball lasts 2.6 years before they have to bail, or they choose to bail.
Dang.
So like, he's very aware of that. So I educate him on that stuff, just not to just scare him, but to say, look, if you're going all in on this, know the risk. The risk is 2.6 years, brother. Now, can you be above that? Yes, you can, and I'm sure you will. But you can't go in this naive. You can't go in this thinking, oh, all bells and whistles, or excuse me, stars and rainbows and woohoo, and this is going to be good, and I'm going to be a pro because I'm good at baseball. Yeah, no, there's a lot of good baseball players. So now what are you going to do when that doesn't pan out? So now he's starting his own. Now he actually does now he's becoming more entrepreneur minded because of that.
Nice.
He's like, it's not a plan B. It's a parallel plan. It's while I'm doing this, I want to learn this. So that way they'll meet up somewhere. And now he's already telling me he wants to invest. If he does make any money, he wants to just invest that in businesses. So I'm like, there you go. That's better.
That's beautiful. So Brent, my dad used to have his own agency. So he had, like, I don't know, a couple of thousand basketball players, a couple of thousand baseball players.
Oh, wow.
A good couple hundred football players, etc. But he had a rule. He would not take on a new client if they didn't agree to his rule. And his rule was that when you first come on and you make your money, the very first thing you have to do is go buy a regular house and put 2 regular cars in the garage. And then if nothing ever pans out for you, you can afford the maintenance, insurance, and the taxes on that property and on those cars.
Keyword regular.
Regular. Well, a 3.2, a 4.2, somewhere normal with 2 regular Hondas and put them in the garage.
Right.
And then after that, if you want to buy your mom a house, fine, buy mom a house. And if you want to give money to your friends and family, no, we'll set up a trust and they can get the interest off the trust, but you own the trust.
Interesting.
That way, if they ever screw you, you're like,
right. Which is likely going to happen over time. Yep. No one means, usually most people don't mean to screw you until it's time of desperation. Then they will do what's needed. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a good rule. I like your dad. But yeah, that's Jim Rohn said, when you buy before you buy your next car, you have to buy a house, or you have to buy an investment, in other words. So like, don't go buy stuff that, even though it looks cool, so you can buy that car, but you better prove you have something invested first, right? Like you have something, because all it's teaching you is stuff. It's not always going to be that way. It's not always going to be money pouring in. Right. Even if you do get to that point, and I don't mean millions, I just mean you're making 300K and it's smooth. It's like, nice. This is nice. And you can afford a lot with 300K. And so like, but sometimes you might make 120. And then what do you do with all those loans and crap? Like, what do you do? Yeah. You don't want to, your pride is too full at that point. You don't want to downgrade. So you're going to pretend. You're going to pretend and be miserable and do all the dumb shit that is not even worthy of an adult to think about, but we do. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't be acting that way, but we trap ourselves into acting that way. So I like those rules. Anyways, good stuff, man. Steve, I would love to hear more about you and your dad later down the road too, man. That sounds cool that you've worked together in several capacities.
That's awesome.
All right. Ninja, later, man.
Yo.
Good to see you, brother.
Yes,
Love
sir.
you, brother.
Jeff. Love you guys.
Jeff, Steve, peace.
Later.
Good talk.
Good night,
guys. This has been as they're jumping off, I'll just wrap it up and say thanks for being on another cigar talk. That was fun. I'm glad everybody showed up. Thanks for all of you commenting and hanging out with us. I've always enjoyed meeting other business owners, entrepreneurs, freedom thinkers, if you will. And you're always welcome to come in and banter with us and have fun. You do not have to have the same opinions. Hopefully, you're getting a little bit of that. Obviously, we're all in the solar world here, so there's definitely some biases there. But I would love to see more people that are not just in solar, and we can talk and argue and have fun with it and banter a little bit. So appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Until next time. Later.